Hey, everybody. I am Tommy Scoville. You're on the lifeboat, and guess who I got with me? Check it out. Check it out. Hold on. I got to get rid of that thing. There we go. It's Reese. You guys remember Reese? You probably were just over there a second ago because Reese just was live. But we're going to be hanging out here for a little bit and shooting the breeze about an upcoming event that some of you have probably heard of, some of you probably have not, but there's going to be a cruise that we all have the opportunity to actually meet up on. Kind of a cool concept. And I think you said the 21st, yeah?
Oh, yeah. I think it's the 21st of September through the 29th. It's an 8-day cruise.
So the 21st through the 29th. And right before we went live, hey, Calhouni, right before we went live, I was telling Reese that Alan Valentine is going to be in the United States for this. We had booked his travel before this was even announced, but he's getting here 2 days before the cruise leaves. So just long enough to take, or 3 days, just long enough to take a good nap, get ready, and that's what I did to him last time. He slept for 2 days and we went to LA.
I don't really know who that is. Rob, why are you here when you weren't in my chat, by the way? Where have you been, Rob? You come over here, but you weren't in my chat. We were just messaging earlier, and I need to talk to you about that. Who is this Alan person?
Well, Alan's my best friend. He's an Aussie that I met when the lifeboat started years ago, and he came over to visit. He's just my best friend. We're super tight. We met this way, and then when he flew over, he got here just in time where we cruised out to LA, and he was the person that got in the courtroom with me. We were the last two people. Yeah,
that's cool.
So it was very cool.
I've heard you talk about him, but I've never heard you actually explain who he is. So that's cool. That's great.
Yeah, and he's a big bald dude. He's like, he's my size and bald. So it's fun when we went out to LA. We had Aaron with us, so the three of us were just looked like a prison gang walking around. We went bowling, and I don't think there was any hair there at all among the guys anyway. But so you're going is
baldness to prison or gangs? What?
You don't associate baldness with gangs?
I don't actually. No, not at all.
Among the white fellas, you're not going to find too many people in gangs that have hair. It is just part of the outfit that says I hate everybody. You kind of have to have a bald head for that. Not sure why.
Well, I think because I'm attracted to old men, I don't really associate them with gangs. I think it's just they lost their hair, and that's not necessarily I don't stereotype it. I don't do that with that one. I stereotype all the time, but not in that way. But anyway, you were saying?
Well, I think that it may be the circle of friends that you run into. You know what I mean? Like there are still some old, believe it or not, old gangbangers. Believe it or not, some of them actually retire, like go through the entire process, and then never made sense to me. But there are people who do it their entire lives.
In the whole Sopranos, I don't think anybody was bald. I just want to point that out, that there are men who are vicious killers. They also have hair. It is possible.
Those were not prison gangs. Those were gangsters. There's a big difference between gangsters and gangsters, right? Like the guys in prison who join gangs fancy themselves a new version of the Third Reich, right? They tend to be very conservative fellows that don't like Jewish people or anybody whose skin tone is any darker than their own. But they all have that high and cropped. So my prison photos, I usually had hair in because I was trying to rebel against that. I was the guy that shaved, not in prison, and grew hair inside. Didn't make any sense, but.
I'm really glad that we covered this, honestly. I've been meaning to ask you about it for years.
Well, these are the kind of things that I'm sure you've been missing with your highbrow conversations over there with your other folks. I've missed getting together with you and doing this. Silvio was bald when he took his wig off. Valerie wants to call you out on this. She begs to differ.
Silvio? No, I think you're thinking of Ralph. Remember when they chopped Ralph's head off and they chopped his arms off and they put his head in a bowling ball bag? And remember when Christopher Moltisanti pulled his wig off and then And Tony says, "You were so high, you wouldn't know if he had your mother's muff on his head." He says, "You were so high on Skag, you wouldn't even know." Yeah, that I think. But also, I thought of a bald man on The Sopranos, Uncle Junior, and don't think I didn't have the hots for that guy. Not as much as Tony, but Uncle Junior for sure. Mm-hmm.
Gilly Billy also believes that that Valerie was right, and that that was a wig. I'm just saying, this is going to come as a shock to you, but I never watched it. I have never even seen
The Sopranos.
I've never seen one episode.
That's a shame.
It came at a odd time in my life. I've never seen an episode, but at the time it was coming out, I was living with some people that were pretty damn similar. I probably saw some of the folks that was based on. I was sort of in there at the time. I was locked up when all that came out, Reese, and we don't pay for cable inside. They don't let you get the cool channels like HBO or Skinamax or any of that. It's too late to watch it, Gotham. What's that?
I get it. I mean, well, I wasn't in prison. I was in the Church of Scientology, and we didn't watch TV there either. So I'm sure I missed a few things as well.
Yeah. So you caught it when you got out. You got hooked on it and binged it, or did you take forever to watch it?
Well, when The Sopranos was released, I was younger and had my first apartment at the time, and I watched it then. And then I've rewatched it since many times. It's like my favorite. I love it. But I'm also deeply attracted to James Gandolfini, Tony Soprano.
Yeah.
May or may not have something to do with it.
I'm sure it helps. I never caught that. The last thing that I watched that, I think after Breaking Bad, and I watched Breaking Bad in like 4 days or 5 days. My ex-wife was wanting to watch it the whole time I was incarcerated. And when I got out, it was like, let's do this. And yeah, we just sort of went on a binge. I enjoyed the hell out of that. Sadly, what's really funny? We need to do this. We have been speaking, people. I've never seen it either, Rev Girl. Who broke the no speaking thing? We've been speaking. There wasn't it isn't like that. It really isn't. Is it? Is it like that? Oh, yeah, it's okay. I'm wrong. I'm sorry.
Hey, brother, I'm all about being open on stuff, and not everybody's about that. So, guys, Tommy and I are fine. I just said this an hour ago on my channel. It's not about a lack of love, okay? It was never about, well, I don't speak for Tommy. I speak for me. It was never about a lack of love. I love the guy. I think if anybody watched one of our shows together, especially the New Year's Eve one, Tommy swooped in and did something for me that I can't even put into words. The guy will always hold a special place for me. I fell in love with him as much as you did on that show. So it's not about that. That's all I'm going to say. Love the guy.
No, Kristen, that's not what happened.
I think we're too similar. I think we're too similar. I've said this. I think I'm too much for Tommy. I'm a little too much. I'm a little too much for my own effing husband. Okay. I think I'm just a little too much for your audience, to be honest. I think I'm just a little too much, and I accept that about me. I want you guys to know I understand that I push buttons and boundaries.
If we're doing full honesty, it wasn't my audience that was crucifying me. I mean, I promise you, it was not my audience.
Nobody's
talking
doing
the honesty thing.
Nobody's talking about crucifixion. I think I'm a little.
No, but my audience was never upset with you. I got a lot of pushback, but it was not from my audience. I promise. It really was not. And you're not too much for Tommy. See that? Lisa says so. Okay, Lisa's pretty smart.
Lisa knows a lot. I'm not gonna.
Kristen apparently knows more.
Yeah, Kristen, that's true. Maybe I should be polyamorous, because I do think there's something to that, like not getting everything you need from one person. I think that's true. Guys, I don't want to go anywhere with the audience there, by the way. I just think some people I rub the wrong way because I push too many boundaries, and I don't have a problem talking about this, but I talk about it on my channel. And guys, I think it all kind of went downhill when I offered to come there, and it's just, I think I pushed too many boundaries. That's all I'm saying. I push boundaries, and that's okay. I have since backed off, and I know my place in the world with certain things, and that's okay too. I'm learning a lot as I get out of Scientology, and I've never had friendships before, and that's very much the truth. And I actually had a conversation with Jeff about this earlier, how I trust people too much and I dive in because since I got out of Scientology, clearly I crave that. I want that, the connection, the emotions, feeling something for somebody else. It all means a lot to me. And I think I tend to, like I just dive in and it's too much because again, I have not experienced that. Tommy has Q. Remember his friend Q that he talks about? Tommy has Alan Valentine or whatever his name is.
Would it be?
Okay. Tommy has people that he connects with, and he always has, right? It's a little different for me because I've never had deep connections with anybody. Everything I've ever had has been on the surface and conditional. And I think I just smothered Tommy a little bit too much because I crave it so much. And I am now backing off and leaving that alone. Rabbit, I love you, girl. I love that you popped in. So that's my thing that I need to learn. It's something that I need to learn that I have to take it more carefully and just not overdoing it. Again, it's hard to change that because it's kind of part of the blueprints and who I am, but some people can accept it better than others too. Some people go, oh my God, I'm the same. I think that's why Sterling and I are like this because he probably has the similar background that I had. Like we never had friendship. So when we, it's like, oh wow, you lock on to somebody. And I felt very, very, very strongly about Tommy the second I met him. I don't always feel that way about people. I don't do that with everybody.
Oh, can I roll? I didn't want to interrupt you. It's nothing worse in the whole world than when somebody interrupts you. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't do that.
I'm on your schedule. I'm on your schedule, Captain. Go on.
I'll tell you exactly what happened. And here's the entire thing. It is my fault. And I don't have a problem with that. I've gotten really good over the years of taking when I need ownership of the things that I did wrong. I'm cool with doing that. So when the hot stuff started more seriously, and it wasn't just the first trip to the hospital. It was having to go back on multiple occasions and them struggling to get me into sinus rhythm in kind of a big way. And then we began to discuss the possibility of some of the procedures that could be done. And I wasn't adverse to any of what we had discussed. I wouldn't have been adverse to Reese coming down here. Where it really got bad very, very quickly was this. I'm a heroin addict. And I've been sober for 8 years and 6 months, which I'm pretty damn proud of, almost 7 months now. And that is kind of one of those things that drives a great deal of my life. I journal every day. I do, 2 or 3 meetings a day. I plug into 3 different mental health professionals. And I do have 2 people that I talk to all the time to help work through things. One is in prison, which makes it a little tougher. But Alan, I call him in the middle of the night. I call him whenever. I don't respect much of the Australia time difference. At some point in the last couple of weeks, I began to relapse in my addiction. Does not mean I got high. Relapse is a process that sometimes takes a very long time. I have gotten good over the last 8 years of trying to identify when this happens before it gets to the point where I'm buying a bag, right? Because there's no coming back from that. I've just spent so much time doing that. I know that I don't have another one in me, right? And if I get arrested again, right, there's no, well, this is a 2-year sentence, right? The feds are going to put me in prison for the rest of my life if I get in trouble. So this is kind of a thing that I focus on. And I need to sit down with people when I meet them and I need to communicate because there are times where I have to say, you know what, I can't talk right now. I can't do anything right now. I kind of just have to shut down. This is something that if you don't communicate that really well to somebody beforehand, then you look like an asshole when you say, I'm melting down. And if the melting down started 2 weeks prior to that or a month prior to that, or who knows when, because it's a process of going back through journals and reading and trying to find that spot in the journal where stuff gets out of whack, right? And I absolutely have gotten pretty good at that. So this didn't happen. I got off the rails before we were even much into the health stuff, right? I went back and worked through a lot of this, but it's hard to meet someone and give them your list of instructions like you're an animal that needs to be housebroken. But it is something that I have to do with anybody that I'm going to have any kind of a serious relationship with, because saying to someone, I can't speak to you right now, is a difficult thing. And if you say to someone, I can't speak to you right now, and the reason that I can't is because there are alarm bells in my head going off saying, do heroin. And I don't know why that is. And the worst thing is, I don't want this to ever be something where you think that you or the situation are causing that, because that literally wasn't what the issue was. In fact, this issue went back to the move. Literally went back to the move. That's where I started to get really kind of far afield. So this has been going on since July. Was when the relapse kind of started, and sadly, it was right in the middle of a heart problem and a phone conversation. I don't know that I was. I don't know how you communicate that, especially in the heat of the moment. But I said I just need to go and like. But this is you guys say, God, how's that dude single? Right, here you go. This is why this dude is single. I am a horrifically broken toy. And I have always been pretty open and honest about that. And I've managed to get 8.5 years. And I've managed to get that by spending a lot of time sort of structuring this in such a way that I don't keep people around that I'm going to hurt, because I have to say things like, I'm leaving. Right? These four walls, everything right now is threatening me. Right? I don't know why. It's got nothing to do with you, but I'm leaving this room. And you can't do that with people. Even if you try to communicate that with people, you're going to hurt them. You're going to hurt them. So if you spend 20 years, 30 years, 35 years addicted to opiates, I don't know that you're ever going to be. I don't know that you're ever going to be dating material, right? You're never going to be normal material. You're never going to be get up and have a normal kind of a thing. Now, if that were just the case, that would have been hard, right? Throwing the hearts, throwing drugs, throwing all of the stuff. But that wasn't the case. While that was going on, about 60 of you took the time to tell me what a piece of crap I was, at a time where, I was probably thinking that anyway. And I'm good about ants. I really am. I have fought automatic negative thoughts for 8 years. These aren't automatic negative thoughts, right? These are external thoughts that are getting shoved into you via, right, an entire process that actually kicks in your frontal lobe. And sneaky people who say important, right? Now, what do I think? I read important. I think there's a guy about to overdose, or a guy that needs to know how Narcan works. We've had that happen. But it is what it is. It is my fault. I will take 100% credit for this.
I don't see this kind of stuff. Just it's totally my wheelhouse, and I love actually talking about deep things. I think the chat's done hearing about it, but I just want to say this isn't really, guys. Tommy, I think we're going in the wrong direction here with this is your fault. This is my fault, because Tommy thinks it's all his fault. I'm taking the blame on. I think the point is both of us have extreme backgrounds. We have extreme, when he says brokenness, that isn't a joke. I'm not going to call Tommy broken. I don't think that's the right word for him. I think he's a beautiful soul and has the biggest heart. So to me, that's not a broken individual. I think he's Tommy, I told you, and I don't want to go too far into this, or I'm going to cry, but that you did for me on New Year's Eve, I'll never forget. I had the most fun. I've never felt so beaming and happy and I forgot about my situation. You made me forget about where I came from for just that night. And it was a beautiful thing. So this isn't your fault. This isn't anything like that. I think we are two big beings, big presence. And I think we kind of collide when we get together, in good ways and in bad. And I will always think of you as someone very special. I will always hold you very high in my head. But I think the point is, like you just said a minute ago, guys, he's not lying here. Not that he would ever lie, but I didn't understand the I got to get out of the room. I wasn't prepared. I didn't know what that meant. There went from a normal conversation literally to a twist of a dime of events. And something had happened. He was going through his medical issues and I wasn't paying attention to that. And all of a sudden he was having something going off in his head. I can't relate to that entirely, but I can in a lot of ways because we both have strong backgrounds of triggers or insecurities or what have you. Trauma, but totally different sides of trauma. He comes from a different place that I came from, but somehow they're also similar, and it's strong, and it takes a beating. So that's all. That's why you don't see us much together anymore. Does Tommy hate me? No. Do I hate him? No. As a matter of fact, like I said, he's way up there for me on the people that I will always love and care about. So I want to make that clear. And I know this is heavy for you guys, but this is my element. I like talking about the uncomfortableness, the awkwardness, the heavy stuff, because it takes you places and it can inspire other people. And I like mending fences, to be honest. I don't like leaving things messy. I don't like throwing a tornado out there for everyone and leaving the mess to clean up.
I agree with you.
And tight. And if we never do a video together again, and we may not after today, just know what I just said and what he just said.
I hope that's not the case. I hope that that's not the case. I think we have a lot of fun doing videos. I do think and as far as the my channel, I mean, holy hell, we do a drug meeting here. You know what I mean? Like we honestly do group therapy here. This isn't, I assure you, this is not a shocker to anybody on the lifeboat. I mean, as far as like working through, people come here and say, you know, they talk about things that happened in their childhood. This is probably pretty tame, you know, compared to some of the stuff that people have worked through on the boat. But I don't think anybody's going to be particularly bummed out by this. I'm sure that there will be people that don't like it. There will be people that do. It's always, but you play to the numbers, and you're going to kill yourself and go insane. I'm not doing that anymore, right? And we talked about this before we went live. I said I don't care. I don't care if anybody gets pissed. I don't care if everybody walks away, because this is stupid, and I would like it to be over so that we can, you know, start. Yeah, I mean, it was bad.
It was bad, and it's probably going to continue to be bad, Tommy, because we're not really truthfully good for each other. And I'm interested in healing. We both came from all that trauma. I'm not interested in, you know, hot and cold, back and forth drama. I don't want to do that. I love the ever living hell out of you. I really do. I don't know why we can't make that work, but we can't seem to make it work. And I think it's because of the tornadoes of our backgrounds. They collide and it becomes too strong, too intense. And I respect that. And I'm respectfully I don't want to rev you up, right? Like, I feel bad because I feel like this whole, your intense feeling of the relapse thing that you just said, I hope that that's not because of me. And I know that it probably had a lot to do with it. And I never want to create that kind of an effect on anybody. I don't want to make anybody's life worse. I don't want to come in and enter into somebody's life and they think of me as that girl who just ripped everything apart. I don't want to be that way. So if that's the kind of, you know, effects we create on each other, then we should have the respect for each other to step away and say, we will always love each other, but it's not a good place.
I completely understand where you're coming from on that. Congratulations, Cosmic Christie, but I happen to disagree, and I'll tell you why. That's fantastic, by the way. Nobody makes you anything, right? Nobody sure as crap. Nobody makes me anything. Now, I sure as hell didn't handle this, and it's because it's horrifically embarrassing, especially when you've known somebody a short period of time to say, let me explain to you a couple of things about me that are just going to seem really, really messed up, but I probably need to get it out. We joked a couple of times about, I can't tell the story because it's going to, we knew someone who fell. You remember that story? And it was funny as hell. And you said, if that was me, I would never go anywhere near that person ever again. You know the embarrassment I'm talking about? I don't want to put this person on blast, but you know what I'm talking about? See, she knows what I'm talking about. There was a pose involved right before the fall. Anyway, but the embarrassment factor, right? It's a difficult thing when you're early in a friendship to say to somebody, I have a, this is how bad off I am, right? This is how messed up I am. This is what it takes in order to be me. And I absolutely should have done it, which is why and you're right, there shouldn't be any the fault thing doesn't do anybody any good. But nobody makes me anything. Like, whatever happens in the world, the 95%, the 5% is what happens to you, right? You fall and people see you. That's the 5%. The 95% is how you react to that and how you let that affect you, right?
Yeah, well, if I fall in front of anybody, I'm never going to see them again. I am out the door is real fast. That's something I can't come back from. So,
okay, so you understand embarrassment.
If you were trying to be cool previous to the fall, like right before, some people try to be cool and then they fall, and there's just no coming back from that. But I don't think anybody knows what I'm talking about. So,
if there's a flourish, think of the girl turning the alphabet signs on. Anyway, I'm sorry. So when do we have to have this stuff taken care of by?
What are you talking about?
Well, I was hearkening back to the cruise because I saw someone earlier that said, "Are we actually ever going to talk about the cruise?" How does one sign up for this? How does one do the things that? Is this a public conversation? No, Reese and I have been having a private conversation. You're just watching. I'm sorry. What is the
element, Tommy? You jumped tracks so much for me. I can't stay on track with you because you just jump.
I apologize. I thought that you had just said that you were afraid, that you were afraid that we would not be able to remain friends because of how triggering you are. And I said that truthfully is not the case. And I am of the firm belief that no one makes anything happen to anybody, right? 5% of what happens in the world, you cannot do anything about, right? That's the person rear-ending your automobile. That's whatever. The 95% is how you cope with it. And the thing is, I do a pretty decent job of coping with everything in my life. I messed up in terms of communication really badly. Dishonesty. I should have just spelled out what I am considerably better. And that's one of those things you live and learn. I assure you that that's not going to happen again.
Yeah, I wish I had known that prior to what happened there to you. Thank you, Fancy Nancy. I wish I had known that. Just like you said, there are certain things about addicts or anybody with traumatic backgrounds where something could trigger something, right? For me, it's my trigger would be like, I don't want to talk to you again, or any kind of rejection or abandonment. I'm going to get the F out before that even comes close to me, because it triggers the ever living out of me. I don't like, especially men, threatening to leave. So I'm going to be the first one to threaten to leave. I do it to Jeff probably 6 or 7 days a week. When I'm uncomfortable, I'm like, well, it was good knowing you. And again, I talked about this. I was like, here's this back and you have a good life and I'm going to go this way. So for me, it's that. For you, you may have other traumas, but that was one of them. And I didn't know. That's all. I just didn't know. And I think it's a little bit unfair to blindside a person when you don't know, right? Like in that moment, when that happened, I was like, wait, what? Like we were in the middle of a totally fine conversation. That's all. I just wish I had known. I think that had I known, I would have gone, oh my God, totally. I understand. Talk to you later. Bye. Go. Do what you need to do. I'm adaptable, Tommy. Like if you teach me something, I'm going to learn it. I'm smart enough and I get it. And I will follow your rules from then on. Right. Like I can do that. But I think we're just too intense. That's all. And for the people who are uncomfortable in this conversation, I deeply apologize, but it's organic and we didn't intend to do this on a live, and I'm glad that we did. I'm here for the awkward, uncomfortable stuff. It makes me feel whole as a person.
Healing is a lifelong process, kind of like that, Laura says, and be kind to yourself. That's always a good one too.
Reese, closing off from what Tommy is saying in his apology, he's extending his hand. Yeah, I might be doing that, Stephanie W. To be honest, I just saw I said this yesterday. Sometimes fires don't go out when you're done playing with them. I saw enough of the heat. I saw the potential of flying too close to the sun, and you're probably right about that. I don't want to feel it again. I don't want to do it again. Once it happens, I'm kind of done. So it's nothing against him. I don't want to hurt him again, and I don't want him to hurt me again. That's all. So my logic on that is to just go, you flew too close to the sun, and don't do that again.
I understand where you're coming from. I really do. When you say that 5 times a week or 6 times a week, I don't remember exactly what you said. You tell Jeff you're out of here because you want to be the person to do the preemptive walking away or breaking up. Or I don't remember how you worded it. Correct? Has he ever said that to you?
Never.
Never. Okay. So sometimes you can get something in your head, right? Just so that if there's anybody hearing this for the first time, I wasn't saying to Reese, I don't ever want to talk to you again. I said, I need to get off of this phone for about 30 or 40 minutes. I need to do some meditation. I need to get myself and figure out why the hell the desire to stick a needle in my arm is happening to me, because this isn't normal, right? So I wasn't trying to walk away. I was just trying to, we weren't fighting. There was no fight. We were in the middle of a conversation that was not fighting. There was nothing like that. But when the alarm bells go off, I'm terrified. It's the only thing in life I'm afraid of. I'm not being, it's what keeps me awake. That feeling that if something happens, man, this is the end. I'm done. And I've never been this dude. I lived 46 years of being a real scumbag, and I like the person that I am today. And sometimes, I needed to do a much better job explaining who I am. Normally they don't come so far out of left field that they're a shocking thing. Normally, I kind of start romanticizing a little bit. Like there's a process of relapse that normally is far more predictable. I think there was a lot going on, and I don't mean you. I mean, I am choosing between either 2 procedures, both of which I find very frightening. One because of, and who cares? 2 medical procedures, both of which scare me, or losing a crap load more weight. And I already look like Skeletor, but trying to lose more weight so that I can do this without some medication. All of that going on was probably more than I had ever had to try to cope with. You have to understand that my entire life I've had medical problems. I really have had a lot of things in and out of hospitals because of skiing and all the things I've done. It's just been a part of my life. I've never done any of them sober. So all of this stuff that I'm doing right now is kind of cutting new turf. And I didn't do it well. I have no intention of walking off. And I really kind of tried to, as your friends say, that I wasn't going to leave. There was a comment earlier that said, and I'm not trying to be mean, I promise you I'm not, but there was a comment that said, not every dude is your dad, and dad issues are real, right? And very often, and there were so are mom issues, by the way. I mean, we all have something that we're carrying around, but your dad definitely did a number on you. I think we were open and honest about this once. I wasn't going anywhere. I promise you I wasn't going anywhere. And not everyone always is. And I'm a guy that communicates probably a little better than the next dude, right? That, hey, I'm not going anywhere. I tend to be a communicator as far as guys go. Most guys don't communicate. I am a little better than most, at least. Thank you, Mousy. Cosmic says, I love this boat.
I don't disagree with you. That's why I think you and I jived so well and had such good chemistry on our lives. But I also think that I bring something to the table in this relationship as well. And I think that I hold my own when it comes to communication. I don't back down, and I don't have trouble communicating. And I want to make that very clear. I could go on and on for hours with you right now, and I'm not going to, but this is the stuff that I thrive on. So I don't have
I beg to disagree. I love you, but I beg to disagree.
I don't have problems.
I cannot communicate. You can't hear someone if they're saying anything positive or that they're staying, or that they're sticking around, or that they think you're great, or that there's none of that. And I understand, right? So does everybody in the audience. No one's hearing this and thinking, what? Reese can't take that. Everybody in the audience is going like this right now. I promise you. 987 people are nodding their head, because that really is something that, what's that?
A lot of people came over from my last live. I told them to come over. They came in droves, didn't they? Welcome everybody. I realize you're also on Tommy's channel. Like there's a bunch of people from his channel, but that's a good number. I don't know. See, I'm starting to get a little, we can stop there.
Whatever makes you happy, Reese. I don't know. Okay.
I just think there's more to it. And, I just think that both of our backgrounds bring a lot. I just think this happens. I think we know a lot about each other at this point. Guys, there's so much that's gone on behind the scenes. Tommy and I have gotten very close. We've had a lot of phone conversations, and I love that about him. But again, I just think it's massive, don't you? Just the baggage alone that we both bring to the table is massive. And there's nothing we can do to unpack it. It's there. It's part of us. It's with us. And I think I can try to work on it. Sorry, can't talk right now, dude. I think we can try to work on it. But I just fear, one of my biggest fears, Tommy, is getting hurt. And I don't want to get hurt, especially by somebody I truly love. And I really love you. And I would rather not experience that. And that's hurtful. And that's not your problem. That is my problem. So before people in the chat get upset about what I just said, trust me, it hurts me more than anybody.
I love this boat too. I assure you, I'm not trying to get over on Jeff.
Rosemary, I'm a little disappointed in you there, girl. I'm disappointed. That has nothing to do with this, guys. It goes way beyond Jeff. It goes way beyond any of that. This is a friendship that he and I have that runs deep. I really care about this person.
I don't agree, Tommy. I've seen her. What she's referring to is, I said in communication that you have a real struggle listening to anybody who says anything that's positive. If somebody says, let's anyway.
I agree with you on that. You think I'm not married to that? Like I hear it. He tries.
I was just explaining to you what she was saying. I wasn't trying to rehash it. You said, "What is she talking about?" I was saying she was disagreeing with me.
Guys, the people who are getting upset right now, go ahead and get upset with me. You're not going to be more upset with me than I am. Okay. I know my insecurities. I know myself very well. What he's saying, what most of you saying, you're not hearing Tommy. You're right. I have walls up. I put blinders on. I do that to protect. It's a self-protection mechanism. I don't know why I do it. I have a hard time accepting love. I have an easy time being rejected. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know why I do it. Frankly, I don't care where it comes from or why I do it. I would rather just identify it and try to undo it. It doesn't really matter if it's my dad or Scientology. Sure, we can put significance on that and label it all day long. The point is, I want to put a stop to what I do. And that's the hard part. And I go to therapy every week. Trust me, I'm working on it. I'm really trying. But you're right. I'm not hearing Tommy. And I flew too close to the sun. And I have a hard time feeling the heat. Again, I have a hard time trusting. You're right. A time to change. It's a habit. I'm trying to learn about myself and change that. But getting mad at me certainly isn't going to help. It's not going to it's going to take up space in your head, not mine, because I take up more than enough space hating myself all day long. So Tommy, I love you, man. You know I do. I always will. Maybe we can see this through. I don't know. I don't know if it's strong enough and if we're interested in each other enough to see it through. I don't know.
Well, that sounded like some progress. Unless
it's just,
you're Rosemary who wants me.
Like you want me to know, you told me privately on the phone, all your issues. You want me to know this stuff. I've got them too. I never told you mine. We covered a lot of yours, but I didn't get a chance to tell you mine, and I have them too. And that makes it kind of a difficult friendship, right?
Right. That sounds to anyone listening like we spent the times together talking. I think what Reese meant is that right after this thing happened, we obviously spent a lot of time talking about the fact that I had a meltdown, and I was trying to explain to her why and what makes that was unique to drug addicts and maybe opiate addicts. I don't know. It's unique, but I would absolutely have welcomed to. Sounds like neither of us trusted the other enough to really get into some of our deepest stuff.
I agree. But I agree with that. I think that's 100% true, and it makes me sad. We should have given each other that chance. Tammy Thurman, you can go all day long saying, Reese, quit hating on yourself. It's not going to make a difference. And just saying that is like telling somebody to calm down. Has that ever worked for you, Tammy? I don't know. It doesn't work for me, but I'm a Cancer sign girl. So I get full of emotions, good and bad. So, it doesn't work when people say, Reese, just stop it. It doesn't work. So, but Tommy, I think you also nailed that pretty well. We should have trusted each other a little more to understand each other a little bit better and not cut each other off so much. I agree with that. But I still don't think it's anybody's fault.
I think that the figuring out what happened is usually a pretty good thing. And if you can come to the realization that maybe you did something wrong, that's not necessarily such a bad thing either. When people say it's this person's fault or that person's fault, that's scary as shit. That's sorry, it is. That's scary. If you're thinking it about yourself, whatever, but it is pretty scary when people are picking which one of us is winning or whatever. I'd rather die than have one of us winning. Please, people. I mean, come on. I don't think we came on here to try to win anything.
Yeah, and that was my background in Scientology. Nothing but fault. It doesn't get you anywhere, and it's never good for a person to do that. So I'm not rejecting Tommy. This isn't the end of our friendship. Everybody's saying that too. It's just, guys, I try to protect myself, and I will protect myself enough to push somebody that I love away. It's sad, and I hate that I do it. I'm trying to work on it. I promise. Judy, yeah, we can. Truce, Tommy?
I'm sorry.
Truce?
I didn't know we were fighting. Honest to God, I didn't.
Well, I'm just fighting more with myself than with you.
Yeah, I would. I think I said that almost verbatim, didn't I? Didn't I say something like that earlier? Can't we just go back and act like this didn't happen and maybe just, start at the beginning kind of a thing? You sure give it a try. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, right? But Tommy's checked out. That's such a cruel thing to say. You know what I mean? That's
stupid.
What's
that?
Stupid.
It's a stupid thing to say. People say stupid things. Not, I mean, you got to remember they have backgrounds too and baggage and trauma, but some people say dumb things and I don't know.
So what do you think?
Switch over.
Tell me a little bit about this thing. Can you tell me a little bit about it? Because I don't know when it leaves. I don't know how you set it up. I know it's the 21st. Tommy
is emotionally drained. That's because Reese emotionally drains him every time we did a live together. The poor man. That's what I mean. I'm a lot. I emotionally take a lot out of the guy. I'm so sorry.
It was that 13 years in prison I was able to get through, right? But
nobody's calling you
live with Reese is no. I'm just telling you. I don't think you need to worry too bad about. I think I can get through an hour with you. Or whatever we do. Don't feel bad for, I've never felt like that. I assure you.
Do you remember what I used to say to you? And I still feel this way, sort of. I used to say to you, if anybody can do it, it's Tommy. He can weather the Reese storm.
Yeah, well, this, start by introducing yourselves to each other. Well, that's just funny. Reese, I'm Tommy. Tell me about this cruise.
I'm Reese, and I'm 39. I'm a Cancer, and it's good to meet you.
What do you know? I'm 39 as well.
I love good Mexico, is that? And I have a lot of friends, and I also have a lot of haters. Good to meet you.
Blake
Anything
thinks
about
we should do this at a distance.
What's
Go ahead.
What's your
I am
sign?
a Cancer.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah. Born in the first week of July.
Samesies. Okay, guys, let's switch to this dumb cruise.
Oh, don't say it like that. Don't say it like that. There you go. Booyah. There he is. He's coming on this cruise.
Oh, that's
Whether
Alan.
he
Hey,
likes
Alan.
it or not. Yes, that is Alan. And Alan
Okay.
is coming here. So the timing is just going to be absolutely perfect. All right. So, sorry. Tell me. I don't know anything about this. You got to help me. What is the, so we leave on the 21st. When do you have to book by? Where does it take off from? Like there's relevant info. Can you give me any of that or should I
can't actually. I did a live. Look, everybody loves Tommy. I love this. I did a live the other night. Love you, baby angel, with Chow Yun Smut, who is in the chat. She is the person. She's the travel agent who booked the cruise. And no, Valerie, we love you, girl. We love you, Valerie. Guys, I got nothing but love for everybody in here. It's the 21st to the 29th, and you don't have to be vaccinated. I'm trying to think of all the questions that came up in my chat. It's highly recommended that you have a passport because like Chow Yun Smut really took a dark turn with it. And she said, if you're like at port and you rent a scooter and you drive into a pole and die, it's important that you have a passport or break your legs or something like that, she said. So it's highly recommended that you have a passport. And what else, Chow Yun Smut? Pricing. The cheapest was $613, I think, a person. And that's a basic room with like, if you're claustrophobic, I don't recommend it. I don't think there's any windows. And then I want to figure out, I think I would like the room I want is $2,000. Not per person though. That's for 2 people. So if I was going to bring, if I was going to bring Jeff, it would have been $2,000 for both of us. And that room is a balcony room where you can actually go outside on the balcony. You can do all kinds of things if you want to on that balcony, because I asked. Don't think I didn't ask. You can do that. And I think it's fairly private. But if you're comfortable doing those things not in private, either way. Here we go. Oh, I can't click. Interior cabin, $614 a person. Look how close I was. Ocean view, $824 per person. Balcony, $999 per person. So some of you guys may want to have a roommate. You're welcome to do that. Some people like Hef, are you in here? I think a few of them, Tommy, are going to get, can I put you down? Thank you. I think quite a few of them are going to get 4 people to a room, and you guys can do that to save money. I don't like to poop in public, and I also just like to be have my own place to poop. So I'm going to have my own room. So for those of you that some people,
could you not just maybe book a toilet? I mean, do you need an entire $2,000 room? Maybe you could just book like a cheap room down the hall that you could drop deuces in. Think of the money you'd save, and then you'd be pooping alone, and you wouldn't even have to do it where you sleep. It's genius.
Wait, though. I wanted the balcony.
Well, even still, right? Get the. I mean, you're going to be dropping a deuce on the balcony, so no one can come in, right? You can't. Your room is a write-off. Then, yeah, it's just for you.
I don't understand. Are you saying that I book a room with somebody and then get a separate room with no window?
Yeah, you need a room to drop a deuce in. That's what you need. You need a separate place down the hall that you can just sort of look around in the hall, make sure no one's looking, and then just peel off to your toilet room. Usually in the steerage, a couple levers down, save some money. What's that?
Your logic is really confusing me. Why wouldn't I just poop in the room I'm booking? Why would I pay for 2 rooms?
Because you told the entire crew on multiple occasions that if you drop a deuce, no one can ever enter that space ever again. So poop off the balcony is not a bad idea, Tony. Not sure she'd be willing to do that, although
that's some serious pollution into the ocean. I'm not going to do that.
It's also commitments.
Well, Laura, then maybe you shouldn't be here, girl. I don't know what to tell you. So the only thing I don't understand your logic, though. I really don't. Why would I get 2 rooms?
Because you need a room just to poop in. Like you cannot do it.
What's
My
the other
understanding was
Tommy, what's the
sleeping,
other room for?
sleeping, entertaining, having people stop by, right? I mean, like the normal stuff you would do in a room, like everything I would do in a room. But see, once I've used the restroom, like I don't then have to, put this off out of commission for the remainder of the time. She can't poop in public. How is she going to poop off a balcony?
Yeah, I don't want to do that. Again, I'm pretty weird environment.
I could see that being really funny, but
so you're saying that my balcony room I should have for entertaining? Isn't the whole ship for entertaining?
no. So what if no, I mean, yeah, the whole ship's for entertaining, but what if, you and your husband, well, I guess your husband doesn't count anyway. You might be safe. I just find it amazing that you have this, you need to go to the bathroom in a place other than where you're going to be. I find that fascinating.
So should I get
facetious about?
I don't understand your logic.
Facetious about
what?
Sorry, facetious about feces. How about the poop deck? I'm sorry, everybody's just having a pretty good time with this. How about if you just rock depends? That's been suggested as well.
Wait a minute. You're going to be seen by cameras if you poop off the balcony. Chow on spot. I just asked the other night if I could bone down to Pound Town on that balcony. Are you telling me that I'm going to be on camera? I mean, I'll be on camera with that. I don't care. That's totally
so you have
fine.
No problem. So you're cool completely with the porn. You just don't want to get into the Shiza porn. Okay, I got you.
Just seems, yeah. I just have an issue with pooping in public. I don't have a problem with doing anything else in public. I just want to be clear. Curious Wendy, which part? So there's that. We got just Reese, book your own room. Thank you. That's kind of how I started this. I am going to book. Chow Smut, you're hilarious. Emotions are emotions, guys. It's good that we all have them.
Yeah, they're, you know what? We put them away and bad things happen. I think we might be demonetized. You know what? This is the lifeboat. We say heroin and cocaine a lot. If we can get away with that. It took them 2 years before they stopped demonetizing every video we did. But nowadays, I think they finally think I'm not trying to tell all of you to get high. And just a touch under 1,000 videos, they figured that out. But now it works out. I think we can get away with pooping. We'll find out, though. They are odd.
Yeah, I get it. And so there's that. And what else?
When do you have to book this thing by?
March 3rd. There are 4 days out of the 8 days that you will have. What did you want this?
You want like this, March 3rd. Nice.
No, March 3rd. Yes. Now I've moved on. There are 4 days. I know
you didn't start with that. You didn't start with that. Roll back the film on that. Would you, Calhoun?
Are we
roll
doing
that
this
back for me?
I'm doing this again?
Sorry, go ahead. No, we'll do it later. Go ahead.
Shall we? I think we covered it all, didn't we? Deposit is March 2nd. Okay, fine. I got that wrong. Oh yeah. There are 4 total days out of the 8 days that you will be able to enjoy being on a beach, which is what I want to do. Yeah, I don't know. When I come onto other people's channel, Anti-Wombat, their people on their channel tend to not like me. If you don't like me, I just feel like you should tune out for today. Come back when I'm not here. That just seems logical to me. But it's like when you eat at a restaurant and you take 45 minutes to write a 6-page review. Just don't ever go back. That's all. If you didn't like the steak, just don't go back. It seems logical. But anyway, neither here nor there. There's 4 total days of the beach time, Tommy. There's going to be all kinds of like recreational stuff, sports, and all the things that people who are fit like to do, like Sterling likes to do all that stuff. I like to just sit on the beach.
So 4 of the 8 days, you are going to be actually pulled up at a port so that you can do we know where those ports are? Where does this thing sail? Florida, yeah.
Chow Yun Smut, would you mind coming in? I don't know, Mary Gonzalez, but I love you for saying it. Oh, Katie Fulton, babe, I missed you in my live last. I went and tried on every freaking caftan for you. I need you to go watch it because we need to plan our caftans that we're going to pack for this trip.
I'm sorry. You tried on every Kafkan and you didn't text me to let me know you were doing it. I feel a little bummed out. See what happens? You get out of the circle and it's over. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I tried on a bunch. That's all I'm packing, by the way, guys. And Katie, they don't wrinkle either. So we can also use it as a swimsuit cover up if we want. But Katie, that's it. We need to know that about each other. Chow Yun Smut's going to tell us where it goes. It departs from Miami. She also recommended that you come the day before it leaves. Okay. Ken Cole, are you in here? He lives in Miami. He's one of my friends on my channel. I'm going to stay at his apartment the day before, or I'm going to go stay with Aaron if Aaron comes, and then Aaron and I will drive down from Clearwater to Miami for that. So, I don't know why I need to give everybody my plans. I don't know why that was necessary.
Well, I think we've got that broken down now. Do we have any kind of an idea on who's going and who's not? Who's committed? Who do we know is in?
Marilyn is definitely committed. She's got her tickets. Okay. And then one other person, but I think quite a few people are going. And I think there's quite a few people, Tommy, who are waiting to hear what creators are going. And then they will make their decision based on that.
Fair enough. Do we know what creators are going? Has anybody committed as of yet?
Marilyn's going. Aaron is thinking about it. Sterling said, if I go, he will go. So I talked to him a little bit about it last night. I think he's leaning toward it. Barb, yes, you're going. Chow Yun Smut, can you type in the destinations, please? Kristen, I love you, girl. There's Hef's going. Inappropriate Hef is going. Yeah, she's going.
That's kind of funny.
What?
I'm sorry. I think that's funny. There's our conversation. We've got some crazy people on it. And am I going? Yeah, I'm planning on going. I'm planning on going and bringing Alan Valentine with me. I think it's going to be a very good time. If I'm going, there's probably at least a 75% chance that Johnny's going unless he's filming.
And guys, just show. Not that it matters on so much over here, but I told this the other day. I don't know if I'm going to go. There's just a lot of things I would have to figure out. So I don't know. But if I don't go, here's something else we talked about. We're going to do this every year. And I still want to do the once a month city meetup thing. So a lot of you have asked me about that. So if I don't go, I will see you all at some point. The one after that, we decided Chow Yun Smut, we're going to do a land thing. So we'll probably stop and do like a resort thing the year after, but we're planning to do this SPTV thing every year. So if I don't go this coming year, I'll go to a different one.
But if you don't go to the first one, you can't go to all of them. I'm not saying that to you. That's to everybody, right? If you don't catch the first one, you're not going to be able to go to all of them, right? And then you have to look back and say, "Oh, I missed the first one. I heard that was epic." Of all of the years, they said the first one was the best. It's always that. If I blow it off, that's what I hear every time. You know what I mean? Concerts, everything. Oh man, you should have gone. What's his name showed up? They didn't even talked in 8 years. If I don't show, it's screwed.
I think you're absolutely right, and that's probably true. But if I miss it, I miss it. That's kind of a weird time for some of us, Tommy, because like that's when school starts. There's a lot of people that say that. The other thing is, I won't get into it over here, but I also have to figure out. I may not go. We'll see. Yeah, Alaska, amazing.
Or you aren't going to say that because it's too offensive. Is that what you're going with? Because I know where you were going with that. I bet I know where you were going with that.
I think we're way past offended. I think a lot of people in here are offended at this point anyway.
Reese, Aruba.
Move on, Laura. Move on with your life.
Is that what we were looking at right there?
Yes.
Are we correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And 2 stops in the Dominican Republic for those of you who dig cigars.
Which
Really
sounds
good
kind of
cigars.
cool. Honestly, those destinations sound pretty neat.
Yeah, I would like to go to the Dominican Republic. I think that would be cool. And I am really I like cigars. I've always been a big cigar guy. And they grow some really incredible cigars. Passports, yeah, you're supposed to have a passport. It's always a good idea if you're leaving the country to have a passport. It gives you all kinds of juice if you got to, especially if you happen to have one that's blue. I mean, our country, like it really is nice to have a blue passport. It gets you a lot of juice. I know because I've got, I don't know, half a dozen of them. I got more passports than Jason Bourne. I was a bad person. I've used other color ones. The blue ones get you the best service. Go ahead.
Passport thing, guys, you will probably, somebody said the other night, if you don't have one and you're planning on going, get going on it now, because that stuff can take a while. And it's just better to not do that last minute. I know Jeff had to do a last minute passport. His expired and he had to pay like $500 fee on top of it all to rush it. So don't be like Jeff. Katie, are you planning on doing, I think Katie's going. Anyway, yeah. So
RM Blake, strongly considering. You know, I've heard look, people are talking about, you know, not feeling pressure. I assure you, people, we're not pressuring anyone to go on a damn cruise. If you decide you want to go, it'd be great to see everybody there. I assure you, we won't be pressuring anybody. I'm not going to be doing mailers. I swear to you, I will come by and grab you out of that house. You were getting on this damn boat. Sorry, just thought I would try it your way. Doesn't really work. I think I'll just go the other route. Hello, Dirty Mouse.
The other thing that she said, guys, this boat is humongous. It is Carnival Cruise Line, and it holds 3,000 people. Okay, that's a little people-y for me, but it does. Wow. She said it's like 5 football fields long or something. So I'm worried we're all going to get lost. Like I won't even see you guys. The rooms are not booked anywhere near each other. And then there's 2 pools on it. Oh, 2 pools. 2 pools.
Well done.
There's 2 pools.
Back in the saddle again.
The ship is called Carnival Magic. 2 pools. I'm not going to be in either one of them. I just want you to know. Oh, whoops. That was actually not.
Whoa, it's magic. Come on, we can rock. Yeah, that's
it's not.
That's name that band.
I can't.
You'll never get it. You'll never get it. I know who this is too, and it's one of those bands that has the dumbest name. When you hear it, you're gonna be like, "That's stupid." Someone's gonna say it any second. My son's, he's off doing something he's not supposed to. If he was sitting in that chair, he would have had it like that.
Hold on, I got to go back to what I was saying.
Pilot is the name of the band.
I would have
go back to what?
I got to go back to what I was thinking, or I'm going to lose track of what I was saying.
Okay, go back to what you were thinking.
Okay, so 2 pools. I won't be on either one of them. And then there's a casino. There's all kinds of things that I don't give a holy crap about. There's a casino. There's going to be like karaoke. Chow Yun Smut has several rooms like set aside just for us to do fun things. So there's going to be like special things. I don't know what those are, or I would tell you. There's like water stuff, slides, all that stuff that I don't care about. Oh, I know. There's food. She sure does, L Jeans. There's food. You may or may not have realized there's going to be food. There's a lot of food.
Over 8 days, that probably works out.
1 second, please.
There's a topless deck? I'm sorry.
I think that we did talk about that because that sounds like a lot of fun, Katie. And I think you and I talked about being on that together. Although, Katie, you are super hot. I am not going to be topless anywhere near you. I saw your boobs today and I felt incredibly insecure. And then
where was I when all the boob watching was going on? I kind of feel like I took off at a bad time. Your channel got a hell of a lot better when I was going.
I showed another picture of me in different undies. And ever since then, people have been sending me naked pictures of themselves. And I never showed myself naked, but I appreciate seeing all those things. And so it kind of started a thing. And I look cuter in the one that I showed the other day than the other one.
And the Spanx Calhoun. Spanx Calhoun put up a picture of me, and nobody's sending me any nice pictures since then. So yeah.
Oh, well, you should try it.
It's your fans. I should try what?
Try it again. Put up more pictures.
No. Okay. Spanky, nope.
All right.
You can check the ship out by typing Carnival Magic. Thank you.
Okay. Hold on. No, hold up, because it's going to leave my mind. I got to think about it again. Hold up. Oh, yeah. So food. That's where you guys will find me in case I have any fans in this chat at all. I will be, it could be possibly Shark Week that week. I'm trying to look at it that far out on a calendar. And if it is, I'm going to be, there's like an all-night ice cream buffet. That's where you'll find me. Neither here nor there. But all the food is free. It's all you can eat. There's all different kinds. The only issue I have is, like, there's specialty foods, which kind of annoys me. There's a steakhouse that's like really nice. There's sushi and Italian. Those are all an upcharge, which I think is dumb. And then there is drink packages, guys. Drinks are not all inclusive. It's not free. It's like $500 for a drink package. You need to know that. I don't drink. I'm the cheapest date alive. So that's another plus for me. Spanx and I will be at the ice cream together. I knew it. I knew I connected with him. I love him. That doesn't surprise me.
No, he's hell on wheels. He's been since 2 years old. If you let him anywhere near an ice cream buffet, he turns into the Antichrist. It's a little scary.
I love that about him. I knew I loved him, and that's it.
You know, just a quick story. Do you know the Slurpees you buy at 7-Eleven? When Spanky was about 3, we bought him one, and I was with my brother. So Johnny and I were walking out, and he was going like this, just like as fast as he could. And I kept saying, "You're going to get a really bad headache, right? Slow down, or you're going to get." And he just dropped the thing, and grabbed his head and started screaming. I was actually there for his first brain freeze, and it was magic. It was one of the best moments of his life.
That's really sad.
No, it was amazing. It really was.
Not to moms. Okay, so, and the other thing I saw somebody just ask, you cannot bring weed gummies, guys. You can't bring any kind of recreational, anything like that. Okay. Check it at the door because you can't bring it. What else was there? I know you do simply.
There are going to be people going, what?
There's like a smoking section. I'm pretty sure. I think you can vape. I'm pretty sure. There's going to be a lot to do. I mean, you're not going to run out of things to do. Oh yeah. They made up drink names after us, Tommy. There's going to be special.
Here's the deal. That's great. That's perfect. Let me guess. What else?
Oh yeah. Cindy, you can bring your own bottle of wine. You can bring your own bottle of wine. The ship is like a Pepsi only ship. Now, sodas are not free. That's a la carte. But like coffee, water, iced tea, that's all free. But you can bring your own Diet Coke or Coke because it's a Pepsi ship. That's weird to me. I don't drink pop. So, Linda Murphy, I'm glad that you announced that. Thank you for making it clear why you left my channel, because everybody was hanging on a thread wanting to know. So you can bring Coke products. Otherwise, yeah, we're good. We're good. Anything else? Yeah, THC free, Rhonda. I think so. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that, that dangerously close to mean people suck, which is a rule that gets you banned from this channel for life, right? That's rule 4. We don't have a lot of them, but mean sucks. You hear me? Mean sucks. I don't like mean people. You got, no, you could do that on your channel. I'm sorry. But over here, if people treat guests bad, I want them banned. Like if you got a wrench, kill them the hell out of my boat. I'm sorry. Mean people suck. I don't like mean people.
I don't know that you
low budget.
Mean. Okay.
It's mean. You can have your opinion, and you can, I have tons of opinions. You have no idea the number of creators that I could say something about because I do not like them one way or the other. Mean people suck. Got something mean to say, keep it to yourself. No hating anybody. For real. I got no time for that. Mean people suck. We've been doing this since day 2. What's that?
You heard the man. Keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself.
Or we'll just get rid of you.
Tommy, you get more upset about that kind of stuff than I do. I find
you can talk about me. You can talk about me. Don't talk about somebody that I have on my channel. That's low budget. It's low budget.
Well, I love that about you, and thank you. But I can take it. I promise. I think it's funny. I love it when people announce why they don't like me and why they left. Okay, I mean, whatever makes you sleep better.
I usually get it in an email.
That's because they're cowards.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of that.
I love you too, Boston Sarah. Anyway, guys, so this is going to be a lot of fun. It'll be here before we know it. March 2nd, I think she said, is the cutoff. You can, I think she said, make payments. Was that right, Barb? I think. And the deposit that you have to put down, how much was that? Because it's refundable. That's kind of good to know. Yeah, this isn't that expensive. Thank you, Reese or Rye.
Maybe I'm not. I don't know. Maybe I have no perspective. I thought the same thing. I didn't think it was expensive, but I don't know.
No, I thought that was pretty.
What do I know?
Oh, here we go, Hef. Cindy Fung. $250 deposit by March 2nd. That's not a big deal.
No, it's not. You should be able to. Right? We can. Do.
Oh, and you don't have to bring anything like black tie. Oh, and that's the other thing.
I love black tie.
So do I.
Any excuse to put on a tuxedo.
I love that about you. I didn't know that. I love that about you, though. I love
with tails.
And a top hat?
I do not have a top hat, but I have that top hat.
We'll get you one.
The only one that
I have a hat maker. Chow Yun
I understand you do have a hat maker. Like I've heard you say this multiple times. You have a hat maker. Who the hell has a hat maker? That's amazing. Well, I'm blown away by that.
I think there's a lot you don't know. Hey, can one of the mods post what Chow Yun Smut just said? $250 deposit. It's fully refundable by, I think she said March 2nd or 3rd. There we go. Deposit. Yep. And then no black tie. Dang, there was something else, and now I don't remember. Yes, midnight show. You knew it, girl. You knew it well. She also said, guys, don't worry about. Thank you, Harlan Dorman. That's a sweet thing to say. She also said, hurricane season. Nobody worry about that, because if we start to tip over like that movie, The Perfect Storm, I guess the captain just goes the other way. And apparently it works. So we'll just avoid that, because I'm a little frightened of it myself, especially being Shark Week for me. I don't want to attract any megalodons.
I think we're safe on the megalodons. I could be wrong. I'm no expert.
You don't know what's down there. Don't try to tell me. I know what I know. Haven't you seen Meg? Have you seen the Meg with Jason Statham?
No.
That's based on science. Okay, it's serious.
I can't watch any of those. I think the last one that I watched that was scary like that, Lake Placid. Shows you how long ago it's been since I watched movies, right?
That was real too, and that's the
yes,
same
it was.
But
that one was a large alligator. It would change sizes from
wasn't he cute?
Scene to scene.
I loved him. I loved his little babies. God, that was cute. I just thought he was so cute. But yes, no, it is unsettling, and that's something that us ladies have to think about going. And if it is Shark Week, you're gonna have to be extra careful, because there are megalodons. That's all I'm saying. We'll just have to be careful.
Rutskin Messler says, Poseidon Adventure? We'd like to keep it upright if at all possible.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The upside down thing. Yeah.
I have a huge fear of being out in the middle of nowhere where you can't see land. So this is kind of taking a big step for me if I decide to go. This is not fun for me, but I want to meet everybody. So I'm kind of trying to get over that. Amy Edge, you say he's extinct, but I don't think so. I think they've had sightings, just like Nessie. Nessie's real. Take that into consideration.
Or how about Champ? Are you familiar with Champ?
No, but I
actually saw Champ. I'm not being funny. I saw Champ. Like I don't know who reported it. Everything. He is the lake monster that is in Lake Champlain, which is between Vermont and New York. But Lake Champlain, and they call him Champ, as in Champlain. But I spotted him. years ago. This is a long time ago in Vermont. Yes, I did.
Wait. You can't just say you spotted him. What does he look like? Does he have hair? What does he look like?
No.
Right?
At least when I saw him, he was clean shaven. There was no hair. He looked remarkably like a lizard of some kind. I was on a small sailboat. We were racing these things called laser class sailboats, and me and a friend were racing. And I said, "Is that a log?" There was a thing that was sort of like right in front of where we were going to be going, and I said, "You kind of got to." We were going to have to go around that. And he said, "I don't think that's a log." And it just sort of like you see in all the movies, right? It kind of popped its back up and then dove deep. And like it was big enough that when it dove deep, it created enough of an action in the water that we were freaked out. And we didn't finish the race. We banged a right and went right into shore.
How could you say that then and try to tell me that there's no megalodon? You saw the thing with your own two eyes. There's a megalodon.
I never said there was no megalodon. I never said there was no megalodon. Someone else said that. I did not say that. I assure you.
Well,
I am of the firm belief that if they tell you on the internet, then it's got to be true. And I'm pretty sure that I've heard someone on the internet say that the megalodon, not only is it still around, but I'm pretty sure that it's been spotted. Yankee Stadium.
I couldn't be more frightened than I am right now.
Yeah, it's been that kind of a night, hasn't it?
Lots of twists and turns. Lots. We do have that effect. It's not for the faint of heart, Tommy and Reese. I'll tell you right now. Tommy's.
Name this note.
I grew up in the Church of Scientology. I didn't take music lessons.
Calhoun seems to think it's an E. No, wait. He's doubling back. They can smell you 5 miles away. A megalodon can smell you 5 miles away?
Yeah, especially when you're on your cycle, Tommy. That's what I'm trying to say, man. You don't have a uterus.
On the bright side, can you prove that? This is 2024, and I don't think you're allowed to just like blanketly say that about anybody anymore. Pretty sure. Pretty damn sure.
I'm pretty sure the Adam's apple on your neck tells me that you don't.
Tommy, I just upset my dog with that. I'm sorry. Last thing in the world I wanted to do was upset any animals. Carol asked, what's the difference between Dilaudid and morphine sulfate, real quick. So morphine sulfate is just a drug that is derived from the poppy, right? So it is an opiate by definition. It can only get as strong as the poppy is going to get, if that makes sense, right? So morphine was the first painkiller that was mass produced. They changed it to heroin by adding an acetyl molecule, right? And Bayer made heroin a name brand. Morphine kind of was not as popular until they realized how bad heroin was getting people addicted. And then they started treating people again with morphine sulfate. Dilaudid did not come from a poppy. It is an opioid. It is a synthetic. And the hydromorphone is the chemical name on Dilaudid, hydromorphone. Morphine sulfate is the chemical name. Dilaudid is the name brand. And chances are you'll see it in a generic like so hydromorphone. They come in 2s, 4s, and 8s, and they are super, super, super strong. You'd probably be in less danger, in my opinion, with morphine than with Dilaudid. Dilaudid is amazing at how bad you can get addicted to it really, really quick. It's every heroin addict's favorite pill. That should tell you something. See that? Bruce Osmond saw something too. I also saw the Phoenix Lights. So while you're laughing at me, you can, I saw the Phoenix Lights too. Dilaudid is 7 times stronger than morphine. Thank you, Reba. It's a very rugged drug, and it also does something unique in the body that no other opiate does. So when you first inject that, you feel it instantly in the heart. It's a very, very unusual drug, and everybody that does it gets really scared thinking that they screwed up and this is the end. It's a very, very unusual drug. Gives you a lot of pins and needles effects. You either love it or you hate it. Most people, like people who are not drug addicts, hate Dilaudid because all of the side effects that make people not like opioids, like itching and all of that stuff, it's 10 times worse with Dilaudid. Yeah, that's that. Sorry. You need a paranormal cryptid center. Okay.
That's right, Michelle Kelly. Say it. That's right. Mara, Google doesn't always know, girl. I'm not taking my chances. Anyway, what are our, do we have any questions? What are our thoughts on this cruise? What do we think? I think
I intend to go to this thing. This is going to be an opportunity to meet. How often do you get a shot at meeting all of the people that stare at you while you're working, right? You get a chance to look at everybody. That would be
at
fun.
least once a year. At least once a year, there will be that opportunity. I'm going to go on my I didn't write a book tour, and I'm going to do it once a month.
Once a month?
Yeah, I'm going to go around all cities of the United States, and I'm going to meet people. I'm going to start in Clearwater, and I go to Seattle in about 4 weeks, and I'm going to start doing that.
Wow. So you're going to go like you're on a book tour without the book?
Yep, I
This
am.
is genius. I think
really
this is genius. If
I
you
take
just hit bookstores, sign someone else's book.
That's probably. But I take our people very seriously, and I want to meet them. They mean a lot to me. They're my friends.
Yeah, I think that that's an important thing too. I really do. If it there's only so much. I think that it's awesome. It really is. You can build real connections, but it's so much more fun when you get an opportunity to meet people in person. It was awesome having Alan here for all of that stuff we did in LA, and it's going to be fun to have him on the cruise this time. It's going to be great. The giant squid does exist, and she would not lie to you. There is a giant squid.
Yeah. No, I know. There's also a megalodon. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Serious stuff. This will be fun, guys. And as far as yes, Hef, I can't wait to see you, girl. And your bodacious Bahama Mamas.
Wow. There's a word I haven't heard in a long time. Bodacious.
Yeah, Katie here, Rachel. I saw Katie. This will be a lot of fun. I don't know yet if I'm going to be coming by myself. I kind of want to. I had a whole talk about that earlier. I kind of prefer this is kind of my thing, this channel with my people, and I think it would be easier to come by myself. I said this earlier. He's a Mason, and he goes all the time. He travels all the time with his Masonic brothers and goes to parties and get-togethers all the time, and women aren't allowed, and I don't get to go, and that's his thing. He's very structured. That's his thing. This is kind of my thing, and I hope that that's respected. I don't know if it will be, but I just think it would be harder to bring somebody with you. I feel like I would feel like I need to be entertaining him. This isn't an us vacation. It's to see my people. This is purely to see you guys. I can't wait to see everybody if I go. Yeah, Britt P. It's my thing. I just want it to be my thing. I've never had friends in my life. I've never had the ability to go, I'm going to go out with the girls tonight. I've never done that. I've never been that female. I've never had friends. So this is kind of my thing. And I want it to be that way when I travel around. Jeff's not entirely happy about that, but I hope that he can understand and see that,
I could see that.
I think he's worried about my safety. I think he's worried about my safety. Honestly, think about it, Tommy. Nobody's being vetted for this. I mean, I don't know. What if somebody comes and tries to throw me overboard? What am I going to do? My phone won't work.
I'd be bummed out. I would be really, really bummed out if my significant other wanted to go on a cruise without me. I probably would be bummed out. I would want, for the same reason. I think the protection thing would be something that would bother me. I get that. I think that's somewhat legit.
But I also think that all of the people going on this are going to make sure. I mean, even if there is one or two creepers going, there's going to be a ton of really good people going. And I think if somebody sees me get tossed over, hopefully someone says something, I hope for that.
I maybe we just don't let anybody throw you over. That might be a better, I don't know. I think that's probably the better bet. I don't, have you ever seen one of those up close? I don't know how anybody survives just falling off one of those. Like from the, it's got to be 100 feet from the deck to the water. It might even be higher than that. It's crazy.
Well,
I will be live streaming from the ship. I promise you. If I'm on it,
Oh
I'm going to be
yeah,
live
that's another
streaming.
thing. You do have to buy like a Wi-Fi package.
Yeah.
Or you can tell, I think you can also, yeah, sequin life jacket to match my caftan. That's true. If I'm going to be out there tossed over, I hope the person has the decency to dress me in a sequin life jacket.
Yeah, that's yeah, I
If I'm
think that
go,
it's a
kind of,
statement.
I'm self-absorbed like that. Like if I'm going to go, I at least want to go looking good when they find me. That's one of the reasons I should probably take care of Penelope more often, because if something were to happen, I don't want to be in the hospital and it's like Thursday and I normally do that Friday.
Friday in the afternoon, yeah. So this what day of the week does this cruise leave? This is important.
Oh yeah. It leaves on a Saturday and it comes back on a Sunday.
Okay. So keep that in mind. By Wednesday or Thursday, a little rugged. I'm just saying.
Rough and rugged. Oh,
people don't usually survive being tossed overboard. Well, there you go. I got to be honest. As a captain, I've never done it in the real world. I think I've tossed about 600 people off of the boat, but so far, but none of them make a really loud noise when they hit the. Takes a lot of the fun out of it.
That's kind of scaring me a little bit.
Which part?
I mean, I'm not really worried about my safety at all. And again, coming from Scientology, I don't view death the same way. So if that's how I go, I guess that's how I go. But I hope it doesn't happen that way. I have too many things I want to do still with my life and too many different Mexican places I want to try.
Mexican restaurants you want to try?
Yeah, like I have things I want to do before I go.
My son, for whatever reason, found that really cool and is pumping his fist in the air. Apparently, you hit a nerve with trying more Mexican restaurants. Not sure why, but that one really fired up Spanx Calhoun.
That's because we get each other on a pretty deep level, Spanx and I knew we did.
Apparently, he's throwing you the thumbs up, so that simply must be the truth.
I love him. He's a great guy. He's a good fella. He's one of us.
No
He's
question. Absolutely no question.
I'm quoting. Did you catch that?
Did I guess what? I missed it.
Did you catch that? What I was quoting? Ray Liotta. He goes, "He's a good fella.
Yes.
He's a good guy.
Yes.
He's a good fella."
I knew which while I was in the hospital the last time, they were doing a special on the anniversary of that film, and they were interviewing everybody. It was a very cool. I never get to see anything like that, but it was a documentary about Goodfellas. Really cool documentary. If you ever get a chance to see it, if you like the film, it's worth seeing the movie.
I love that film. It's probably in my top 3 on favorites. I always have loved it, but I love Scorsese.
I do too. Scorsese is an amazing director, but I think that my personal opinion is that's his best work. I don't think he made anything better than that. That's just my opinion.
It's a classic. It's always going to be a classic. I could watch it anytime, any day. It's one of my favorites.
Did you watch the last one that he did? The one based on the house painter and all
Irish, house painting houses. The Irishman.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. That one's too late for me, but I read the book.
I saw it in the theater. It was all right. It was okay, but Goodfellas will always be at the top of the list for me.
Look at that. Maureen would like you to come east.
You're welcome here in person. I love that. Maureen, I hope you have a place for me. I'm probably going to be staying with a lot of these people because, guys, I can't be just traveling around staying in hotels. I don't have that kind of money yet. So hopefully you're safe to live with and you have more than one bathroom. I won't do it if you only have one bathroom for obvious reasons.
So there's the shocker when I say maybe you ought to get another room down the hall you can drop deuces in. I'm telling you, it made perfect sense.
I don't get it. If I'm in my own room by myself, do you know what your logic reminds me of? It reminds me of me. Whenever I'm in a store and something's on sale, I immediately say in my head, I'm going to lose money if I don't buy this. That's what your logic is right now.
No. What I was thinking was the day is going to come somewhere between the 21st and the 29th where you're like, hey, why don't you? Never mind. Maybe we could go down to your room because I didn't get the drop a deuce room that Tommy advised, so I can't have you come into my room because deep down, I'm odd in the best of ways.
I don't have a problem pooping in my room and then having somebody drop by or having people in my room like an hour later. I don't blow it up that bad. It's not that big of a deal. You poop and you get done with it. You move on with your life. I'm just not willing to share a room with someone doing that.
Okay. Well,
Capiche.
I guess I get that. I guess I get that. Prison rules. Oh yeah. Yeah. Ideally, right? If that's how that works. Yeah, gun and flush. See, Calhoun says prison rules. Keep that water going. Soap and water free. Sorry. Oh boy. 29th is my mom's birthday. Oh, and she passed on the 24th. I'm sorry for your loss.
That's really terrible. Oh, it's too bad. Very sorry. I don't know, Mara, and I'm trying not to think about it. Actually, I was hoping nobody would ask, but Mara, you did.
I'm sorry, but how often do you get an opportunity to put a comment like that up? You know what I mean? Like you got to, what are the odds that I'm going to get that again? I didn't poop once for 6 days on a vacation, but felt great. I kept calling home to say I loved everyone just in case. Yeah, 6 is, that's all in, right? For normal people. I mean, for those of us addicted to opiates, I only went to the bathroom once a month. I just thought that was normal until I was older. It's just one of those things.
I've held it for a long time when I was dating. I'm not willing to do it. I got to get real comf.
While you were dating?
Yeah, so, I just can't do it. What? I have a shy colon.
Yes, apparently. No, I got very lucky that got broken out of me. I guess that's the only shining spot of that vacation. That I have no problem there.
I get it. Isn't that nice?
Yes.
Well,
this is a shit show, literally, right? There certainly has been some discussion about it. 13 days. Are you addicted to opiates? Because that's pretty much par for the course if you're addicted to opiates. If you're not, yeah, that's pretty extreme. It's called safe toilet syndrome. I'm diagnosed. So see, there you go. Is there a telethon? I feel like we should be raising money for this.
Guys, this isn't an unusual thing. I know I'm not alone in saying this. I have a shy colon. There's 800.
I think that it would.
In here. Wow.
I just want to make the commercial. You know what I mean? I want to make that commercial. So you can have the serious look. You know how they always do those drug commercials where she's like serious as hell?
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of TV, but
37 days. Well, I haven't. I mean, a long time ago. I don't turn on TVs these days, but I really used to have a pretty good time with all of those. They're just so horrible.
They are. I don't support it. Katrina, you have a shy colon too. See? Shy colons unite.
See, now I finally have a different chromosome backing me up on this one. You get the second room for toilet and store your makeup in there so you can always say, I'm going to powder my nose. I just realized that phrase could be taken out of context. Never mind, I said nothing. Yeah, this is the boat. I'm going to go powder my nose.
Amelia, I get it if we're dating Jeff Bezos, but I'm dating Jeff Quibell, and that's two different Jeffs. I asked Chow Yun Smut, there is a room on this ship that's $6,000. It's the penthouse suite. And I want it so bad. And I asked her who rents it, and she wouldn't give me his name. And I said, is he single? That's all I need to know. Is he single? And is he like 90? Because I can charm the pants right off of that. But she said that he had a wife. And that was, I think she said he had a husband. And yeah, bummed me out. But
yeah, because if it was a wife, you could at least try to go compete. You know what I mean? But
yeah, because I have so much to offer. I'm sure that she's super hot. I'm sure the girl's a 10. But yeah, $6,000 for their penthouse suite. That sounds amazing. I know.
She's a California diamond, but it's time for me to quit. That part in the American where the guy didn't poop school. Oh yeah. They called him Crap Break or Ship Break or something. What the hell was the name of that movie? Jennifer Burke says, I never use a public bathroom. You know, I don't think anybody like digs it. I don't think there are people who are like, I don't want to go to the bathroom here. I'm just going to go down to that Shell station on the corner. You know, no one wants to go to the bathroom at the at the filling station. But sometimes it's like that's your only option. If I'm going to the bathroom someplace other than my house, it's because that is the only option. It's not out of any other reason.
That's not. Men are different. Jeff will be like, I'll be right back. I got to go. Like, he'll just do it anywhere. Men don't care. You know what Fred used to say? Now, this wasn't pooping, this was peeing, but it was so funny. We would be mid-restaurant eating, and he'll be like, I'll be back. I'm going to go wring out my sock. They don't care. Guys don't care. They don't. I used to laugh so hard when he would say that. But Jeff will get up and go poop anywhere. He doesn't care.
Yeah. Us shies, this is a good one. Us shies need a week in the clinker to help us overcome. That's all it would take. 7 days would do it. 7 days would do it. You would get it. Maybe 2 weeks. Reese might tough it out for 7 days.
Oh, I would tough it out. Yeah. I was shocked when you told me I couldn't bring an overnight bag. I'm not going to jail if I can't bring my vitamins.
Yes, no, you're not. You're not allowed to. No, they don't even give you a toilet seat, actually. And it's made of steel, so it's not particularly comfortable as well.
Wait a minute. Did you just say, like, is that like when I go to pee at night and Jeff leaves the seat up and you fall in? Like, there's no seat?
There's no seat. There's no seat. It's just a metal.
Fall in?
No, it's just it's kind of like the seat is sort of built in, but not really. It's a metal unit that has a sink and a toilet all built into one. Yeah, hover game. This is no joke, right? You're not selling prison. No, I'm probably not doing a good job on that. I remember using it. You know what? I can't even tell this story. I wouldn't even tell the story on your channel, but I will say this: there were multiple times at Lewisburg. At the Lewisburg prison in Pennsylvania, when I was there at the special management unit, where the water in the toilet was frozen. Like, you would get up to go, and the water in the toilet was frozen solid, like a block. Yeah, it was.
Oh my God!
I mean, but they didn't have windows. Well, they didn't have windows. You know, the windows are all busted out at that place. So in the winter, it gets brutally cold.
That's terrifying. Hey, Joe Virus. That's really awful. I wouldn't survive in prison. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, you would. I assure you would. Do women get to shave their legs in prison if they want to? Yeah, you can get a razor in there. Absolutely.
You can?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'd be all right then.
No, that's about all you're going to get, though. I mean, you're not, if you're going to do makeup, you're going to have to use Skittles or something like that.
So you can't put any makeup on? You can't bring your favorite necklace? You can't? Hey, Rain Virus.
No, you're not bringing your favorite anything.
I'm so materialistic. I just can't even imagine, really.
No, absolutely, Britt. Okay, so as crazy as this is, right? Not only do they use it as a telephone, but they also use it as a way to pass things. If you have to pass things up, right? If you're passing things on the same level that you're at, or, that's pretty easy because you just slide something underneath the doors and then it's called fishing. It's a little bit more difficult if you're trying to get something upstairs or downstairs, and it's done through the toilets. And they will take all of the air out of the pipes so that they can communicate. And then from that point, they'll figure out exactly how they're going to make that happen. But yeah, it's definitely used that way. That's real.
Can I ask?
Katie, good. Get scared straight. Go ahead.
You said that I couldn't bring my vitamin C serum and a little bit of makeup. That's fine. Could somebody visit me and bring it to me?
No. They're not allowed to bring you anything when they visit. That's they actually send you to prison for that. That's called introduction, and that is a felony. You can't bring anything but a hug. That's about it.
Yeah, I would. I don't think I would make it.
You wouldn't like it. I assure you would not like it.
I'm pretty superficial. I don't think I can make it. How am I going to get a boyfriend in prison if I don't have any makeup on? Like, that's just not going to work. That wouldn't work for me.
Well, yeah. On the first day,
I have nothing to offer. That's just not going to work. That wouldn't work for me at all.
Oh no. Okay. Are you kidding? Oh, are you kidding? All right, I'm going to tell a story. So I was in another state. Doesn't matter how long ago. And I was talking to a friend of mine that stepped out of a door, and this individual ended up stepping on one of those pool covers. You know what I'm talking about? Like you stretch these things across the pool. There was no water in this pool.
Tommy,
Right? There's just
don't do
come on,
it.
this is a great story. This is a great story. But this person kind of did. This person kind of did like a, like the flare, was doing the, hey, check this out, and then just disappeared out of view.
But trying to be cool. This person was trying to be cool, like show off a little bit, right?
Yeah, no, she was absolutely trying to be cool. That is what was going on. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way, and she fell out of sight, which was really, I'm sorry, but it was quite funny. And I was telling this story to Reese one day, and she was like, I never would have talked to you ever again. That would have been it. I would have never spoken to you ever again.
Ever.
Right? That would have been the end of it. Okay, I feel so bad for you. I really do.
And I still feel that way, Tommy. If I'm ever in person near you and I fall like that, trying to be cool, you'll never see me again. That will be the end. See, what happened to this individual when he or she fell into the pool?
I did everything within my power to try to offset the embarrassment that this person was going through, because this person was now matching an outfit that this person was wearing that was quite red. It was like a body sock kind of a thing, dress setup. And she was on very high heels, which was probably not a great idea either.
I would rather crap my pants. There is nothing more embarrassing than what he just told. I can't imagine being in front of your crush, trying to be cool, and falling.
What was her name? What kind of person says this? Look at this. Who is that? Let's shame them. Dastardly Saboteur. What was her name?
That's somebody over from my channel. They like to know details.
I can't tell you her name. That would be mean. I'm not doing that. That would be.
You already told the story. It's kind of mean enough.
I know. It's a great story. It could be anybody.
They're probably watching.
This could have been 2 decades ago. Why do you have to assume this is something recent?
But it was
instant coffee for mascara. Yep, that'll work. Pencil lead for eyeliner. Kool-Aid for lipstick and blush. There you go. See, you can get everything. You just have to get creative, right?
Douglas Scott, I like that. If Reese needs an old guy in California,
well, let me know.
Is that
because you're an old guy in California, or do you pimp old guys in California?
Hold up. Is that a real picture of you, dude? Because that is profesh. I like the background. I like the hat. Is that a suit and tie? Sign me up, brother. You know my email? Just reach out privately if you don't mind. For a friend. I'll set you up with a friend.
Dastardly Saboteur. Thought it might be you. No. I've never watched.
Oh, it wasn't me, guys. If that was me,
she's never embarrassed herself.
Yeah, there's nothing. If that happens on this cruise ship, don't worry. I'll throw myself off, because I can't come back from that. When you try to be cool in front of your crush and you're trying to be cool and you slip and fall into a pool, time stops. It's over.
Well, and here's the thing. If the person had just fallen into a pool that was full of water, that would have been funny. But this is just an empty pool, and the thing will catch you. You're not going to hit the bottom, but it's very difficult to stand up on. You're not going to get your legs back underneath you, especially in pumps.
Was the person embarrassed, Tommy? Or did they try to play it off cool? Some people fall and they still try to be cool. They're like, I meant that.
No, this person didn't speak to me for probably 6 hours. In fact, when they went to get coffee, they didn't come back for like 3. It was, I think it left a mark.
Yeah, I would have left. I would have straight up been gone. I would have Ubered, and I don't even know how to call an Uber, but I would have figured that out and gotten out of
there. And
then
the judge was like, "You're guilty. You're guilty. You're guilty." No, this person didn't die. But I like where you're going with that. No, I didn't whack anybody. This person actually helped them right back up. They were just not particularly happy about the whole thing.
Oh, it's the worst. It's the cringiest, most embarrassing thing.
So when I was 16 years old, I got a job working as a doorman and a bellhop at a very, very fancy hotel. And the money was great. But they had these really nice silk ties that had their emblem was a golden eagle. So they had golden eagles on the tie. And these back in the day, they were like $75 at the store. You know, they had the little sundry shop. They would sell them. But I was at work and I had a pager. And back then they were like this big, right? They were huge. Sorry, that's cowbell. And I had this huge pager on my side, and I dropped it in the bathroom. And when I went down to pick it up, my tie went in the toilet. Right. As I'm picking this thing up, I look down and this tie is sitting in the toilet. And I went, I took it off and went and flushed it down. And then I saw my boss and he's like, why don't you have a tie on? And I was like, I just flushed it down the toilet. And he looked at me like I was the biggest idiot in the world. And I told him exactly what happened. And he goes, yeah, I'd have done that. He's like, go to the gift shop and tell them to give you a tie. We'll take it out of your pay. I was like, okay. Would never have done it again. I would rather fall on my face than poop my pants in public. Well, we weren't talking about anybody dropping a deuce in their pants.
Yeah,
I talking about somebody normally using a bathroom.
Well, I just said I don't know. If I was in front of my crush, I don't know, actually. That's a toss-up. But I can tell you I'd never see you again. I don't think anything embarrassing happened with Jeff when I was dating him, but I can't imagine falling in front of a guy. Like, that's just, it's over. It's done. I would slink away for the rest of time.
I had a period of about 3 minutes. That was the longest 3 minutes in history when I was on a national show debuting a product, and the product did not work. And instead of cutting to commercials, these guys were like really enjoying how uncomfortable
I remember this story.
These people were high-fiving when it was over. I'm looking at them like all they got to do right now is go, we're going to go to commercial. Jack wants, they did nothing. They just sat there looking at me like, hey,
that's not that big. That's not that big.
Oh, you have no idea. You have no idea. See, I would like to see you do that in front of the entire world.
I could do that. Awful. It's like Aaron. It's like Aaron with his dead air fear. Like, that doesn't bother me. I don't
care about dead air. I don't care about dead air, but this was.
I could improvise in a situation like that. That's right up my alley. I would have done a little song and dance and made people laugh. Like, that's right up my alley.
Then you could have done the same song and dance when you fell into the, same thing.
Nope. Slipping and falling in front of a guy I have the hots for, never coming back. Never.
Oh, I assure you, everyone that I had ever liked watched that. I had told everybody. It was, dude, make it work. And I'm sitting there looking at the thing. The craziest part was it was working. I mean, I'm showing them everything. Everything is groovy. And they were like, all right, action. And it was like, they came back from the commercial and the green light on the camera went on and it went, shh. I was like, shaking the thing on the back. And I could feel the sweat start. What?
That just doesn't seem like that big of a deal. Like, I feel like I would make fun of that. I would make fun of myself about that. Like, I've had embarrassing moments in my lives, but I just roll with it. It doesn't really bother me. Crapping my pants. I
mean, once again, though, this is technology that the entire world has accepted. I was debuting a technology that no one in the world had ever seen. And I mean, this was the moment, right? For the company, for everything involved. And I was the guy that was going to, you know what I mean? Like, it was awful, people. It really was. In fact, at the moment, if I could have taken myself out, I would have.
Look at
SJ. No, you didn't.
That's the worst thing right there.
Yeah, that's top shelf. I don't think you can beat that. What were you leaning back, SJ? Hey, what were you thinking? I mean, you're just. So, what time do you guys break for lunch? Seems like an odd interview style. Did that work out for you, SJ? Did they hire you?
Who's that comfortable in a job?
What, you know what? This is going to sound awful, SJ, and I love you, but what were you auditioning for? that the chair had to recline so far back.
Why would your chair be going? Why are you that comfortable, SJ? What are we doing? Oh, man. Wow.
I was leaning and balancing back. Oh, man. I
got the job. Well, yeah. They felt bad for you, though. I guarantee you that there was a little bit of.
I walked on stage. I walked on stage with an open fly to do a show. Didn't realize it was open. And I mean, it was open, right? I had a white shirt underneath it, but it was, I mean, like as open as it could possibly be. And I start in on the speech and I'm going and blah, blah, blah. And this woman raises her hand and I'm like, I do Q&A at the end. If you just want to hold off. And she puts her hand back up. I was like, yeah, go ahead. And she's like, your fly's down. And it had been, 5 or 6 minutes. And I just went, oh, well, that sucks. So I turned around and walked off stage. And then I zipped up my pants and I came back out and just started again. But I did so well that day that I started doing it at every show, like for the remainder of the tour, because people automatically feel bad for you. And I did way better. I mean, like noticeably. But I went on one stage where 15 minutes into this, nobody had bothered to go, hey, man, your fly's down. And there's not really much of a, a built-in. I was like, you sick people.
That's
Come
not
on,
bad
you wouldn't have done that?
I
No,
feel
it
bad.
wasn't. I knew it was a setup, but I just was amazed that nobody would tell me.
I feel bad for Rev Girl, what she just said. I would take my fly being open any day than what she said. Like something like that seems a lot more embarrassing.
Yeah. That's funny. Blind date. I got up first time drunk, not on purpose. Could barely walk to the restroom. It was horrible. Didn't see him. That was the end of that one, huh, Maddie? Tough.
Yeah. I mean, see, I kind of like the idea of dating just to get so silly doing that. That doesn't bother me. I would love to go on a first date and make them feel awkward.
I knocked over a stack of plates at a restaurant that they had set up for a buffet. I went to grab one, and these things fell, and it was like 3 minutes of noise of this stuff just crashing. That one didn't bum me out much. I think I said something like, "Boy, aren't you glad you didn't do that?" or something like that, and everybody laughed. But no, the one in that morning where I was on that was just so awful. Like I honestly have bad dreams about it. That was one of the most traumatic things I ever went through. I mean, it also destroyed the company, which we did have a lot. Kind of
Joe Virus, I think you should get your bladder checked, brother.
Pissed myself at a club while someone hugged me too tight. Good God.
Yeah, that's
was her name Lola?
That's a lot.
Out of curiosity, was her name Lola? Come on. Anybody get that reference? Nobody? All right. Great song. Kinks. About a girl who's really a guy. Nothing. Anybody? On my first day at a new job, I dropped one of those huge food trays. It had 4 meals on it. Oh, that'll leave a mark.
That's embarrassing. Yeah, we'll give you that, Kelly. That's embarrassing. Yeah, guys, I don't have a lot of, I can't think of a lot. I can't think of a lot of embarrassing stories.
When you get hurt in Scientology, everybody gets quiet. That's just awful.
True. That's true. You have to be silent.
Yeah. Is this the only one that's in everything? Is that because they don't want to tie something to the birth thing? Same concept?
Yeah, it's the reactive mind is constantly recording. So when there's pain or unconsciousness, those whatever commands you're giving. So if somebody falls and gets hurt, you don't go, "Oh my God, she hit her head," because then that can key in or re-stimulate or trigger something in the future. So you have to immediately when somebody falls or hurts themselves.
Need I say more is what got me. I just think that's awesome. Yeah, silent birth. I was silent at my wife's birth. Different reasons.
Oh.
Game night idea: 2 truths, 1 lie.
Oh yeah, I know that game.
You do?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. I miss game night too, Britt. We talked about it last night. Sterling's getting that thing going again. He's just dying to do a game night.
So how does Tom Cruise deal with the other stuntmen or him injuring himself on set? Apparently he does a lot of his own stunts. Like he's super into that. And I mean, I know that a lot of times they exaggerate that stuff, but supposedly he does like 90% of his stuff. So he's super into doing his own. The question is, where do they find a stuntman of the same height? Right? That could be tough.
That's true. That would be harder. Yeah.
Kanye scares the hell out of me. Every time I read his name in anything, I just kind of go, I almost feel I will join Reese and Sterling. I think I did one. I did one with them, didn't I? Wasn't that with all? Yeah.
That's where you learned about Every Friday. My Friday routine.
Fell down outside my apartment on a third date. Notice I messed up. Recently polished nail. The guy asked if I wanted to go back in and fix it. He got me. We've been married 25 years. Solid.
Aw,
That was the guy you probably should have married. You should have married that dude. You did good. I do too.
that's cute.
Yeah, that's good. I agree. That's good.
Jeff lived close to where I worked at my corporate job at the old people, the senior living place when I had my corporate job. And he would take me out on dates after work. And I lived like 40 minutes from work. And he would drive me and we'd go like eat dinner somewhere. And I would have to poop after dinner sometimes because I don't have a gallbladder and it depends on what I eat. And for the longest time, I would tell him, can you bring me back to my office real quick? I forgot something. Or I'd be like, I have to go check on a resident. And I would just run in and poop in an empty apartment. Jeff never knew.
Yeah.
Not willing to poop around him. Not willing to poop.
Apparently not.
I thought that was
not.
I still won't. We have 4 bathrooms. I pick a different one. I thought that was actually pretty clever of me.
That, you know what? See, that would really be a tough thing for me. You know what I mean? Like I would have to break you of that. You would just have to get used to it. I would have to work on it. Just follow you around for like 6 months. You get used to it. You know what I mean? Just do the belt loop thing. I'll just put my finger in your belt loop. You know, somebody could break you of it. I promise you.
I don't think I could trust it. I don't think I can. It's just, you just don't know what kind of poop it's going to be. And then I just get nervous and my colon goes silent and it won't come out. I get too shy.
Just the shy colon thing just really makes me laugh. I don't know why. There's something, I guess the word, you know, I just picture the
Katie Fulton. I knew you'd be. Katie Fulton and I are the same person. Yeah, I thought that was brilliant. Every time I would be like this. Remember how I told you once that I go to the Taco Bell drive-thru and I pretend like I'm ordering for 2 people so that I'm not ashamed about getting too much food. I did the same thing with Jeff. I put my ringer on silent and I was like, what's that, Mr. Smith? Oh no, there's an emergency. I was like, Jeff, I got to run back real quick. I was like, somebody's having a problem. And I'd run in and I'd poop as fast as I could. And I'd come out and he'd be sitting there on his phone. And I was like, crisis averted. Everything's fine with Mr. Smith. And I would have just blown it up.
Wow.
I'm kind of clever, actually. Like,
devious. You know, I mean, you could, one person's clever is another person's devious. I mean, you're being deceitful, right? I mean, yeah, it might be a nice play, but it's being deceitful, isn't it?
Okay. No.
Oh,
I don't think it is. That's stupid.
Okay.
I don't think
no, fair enough. I embarrass myself on the regular.
Tommy, this goes back to me protecting myself. I had to protect myself. I wasn't going to tell him I'm about to crap my pants. So I came up with a really clever story and carried it out. And I think that takes, again, it's very unuseful cleverness, but I think, you know, if you're in a crisis and you're about to crap your pants, I'm your guy.
Yeah. I just need a chick that gets so comfortable with me that she can do the pull my finger trick and not care. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really working for that kind of.
Listen, I don't lie about it now. What did I tell you? I went to the theater last week. I grabbed Jeff practically by the neck and I was like, I'm going to crap my pants. I was like, get my purse, get my coat. I'm running to the bathroom. I mean, I can at least admit to it now. I don't have to lie about somebody's.
That's a start. That's good. You guys are making headway. Yeah. You're making headway. That's a good thing.
I think it's sweet that I can't tell the truth about that.
Well, look at this. See that? Somebody likes us.
One person
clever keeps romance alive. Go ahead.
And guys, don't think for a second we won't be on that cruise ship when I'm at the buffet and that ice cream hits. I'm going to be like, oh, I forgot something in my room as you see me running in my caftan down the hall. I didn't forget anything in my room. I'm about to crap my caftan.
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm guilty of this. This is something that I do. I think everybody does it. But it is definitely something I do. But you just kind of have to, you know. I never did it to a significant other, though. I wasn't doing it to my significant other.
If it's in an absolute emergency and I do have to poop in public, I told you guys I'll do that. I'll be like, oh yeah, no, we're at the restaurant now, and I'll sit there on the toilet and poop, talking to a fake person because it makes me feel better. And then sometimes I'm on the toilet doing this and I'm like, I'm in a stall. So then I set my phone down and I just keep talking because I'm like, why am I holding my phone trying to multitask and actually poop? Nobody knows if I'm holding the phone. So then I just put the phone down on the little the little toilet paper roll thing, and then I just pretend to talk.
I get the talking thing.
You guys know all my secrets. That was it. I don't have any more.
No, I get the talking thing. Because I stay calm that way. When I got that crappy job where I had to crawl through tubes for a living and I'm claustrophobic, I would record it all the time because like talking to the phone was like having a person there and it would keep me from going completely nuts. But I get the whole talking into the phone thing.
Yeah.
What are you laughing at? Which one did I miss?
I'm also laughing at you. I'm laughing at both. I think it's funny that people have similarities and we don't talk about those. That's my favorite thing to do is talk about the stuff people don't talk about. We all do it in some form, guys. Sometimes I do it when I order one too many bean burritos at Taco Bell. I don't want to be judged. I'm like, oh, can you add sour cream? He wants sour cream. And I just have to pretend.
Nice.
It happens. It happens.
Oh, there you go. I have no problem answering this one. I got no problem answering this one because the first time I ever heard the term cop a squat, I heard it from a girl I was on a first date with. And honestly, she was dressed like she looked like an angel. She had a mouth like a longshoreman. It was absolutely remarkable. And about 4 minutes into our ride, she was like, "You need to grab a 7-Eleven. I got to cop a squat." And I just went, "What? What did you say?" And I remember calling my friend while she was inside. I was like, "Dude, she just told me she has to cop a squat." He's like, "Cop a squat?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Is that an Indian tribe?" I was like, "What? The cop a squatties?" So when she gets back in the car, like this whole cop a squatty thing is in the back of my head. Ruined the entire night. Had to bring her home. For real. Had to come up with a lie. Use the phone. "Sorry, this is... Yeah, the cop a squat thing blew it." You can't tell someone that. I can't take you seriously. I mean, third date, that would have been fine. I mean, honestly, I don't even care. Third date, I would have, pulled off the side of the road and let her done it. But the whole cop a squat thing, I had never heard it before in my life. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, there's something really unsexy about that. Like, I'm all female. I'm very girly. I like to be girly. I like to be taken care of. I like that. So like, I can't just be like, well, actually, I'm lying to myself and others right now. I did grab Jeff by the neck and I was like, I'm going to shit my pants. So I guess that's why you shouldn't get married, guys.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Build a log cabin.
Yep.
Spend a penny. Human, what does that mean? Oh my God. Spend
a penny. They used to have paid toilets back in the day. You used to have to, but the lowest I ever saw was a dime. But they had paid toilets. You had to pay to get into them. Really, I guess that's an issue. Places they got to keep people out because they're living in your crapper. So, oh no. Thank God for your son. Kay, you know what? You've had a rough run. I love you, Kay, but you've had a rough run. I feel like that's the fourth really good embarrassment that has happened to you. God bless you. This was also the toilet at the wasn't it? Weren't you the toilet girl? The one that overran the toilet? Well, you know what? If she had said cop a squat to sit down, right? But it wasn't. It was most assuredly she needed to use the restroom at 7-Eleven.
Rhoda, laying
dogging.
Laying cable? No, that means something different to me. Laying the pipe? That's not the same thing.
Oh, you know what? Public service announcement right here. Can I do a public service announcement to all of you here? Have you guys watched the movie Pulp Fiction?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You know the scene where he talks about he's going to get some guys to come back there and get medieval on that dude with a blowtorch and a pair of pliers, right? He's referring to guys coming in there and sexually assaulting him. In prison, the term pipe hitting does not mean beating somebody up. It means something completely different. And people use that line all the time. Like people quote it and I always look at them and go, I don't think you want to quote that, man. Like, honestly, you're not saying what you think you're saying. You know what? This is a really good point, man. maybe she got in the car and was like, "Oh no," and if I didn't go with that one, she was going to say something more foul. You
know
might
what?
be right.
That's not a bad. Yeah, actually, I didn't
Not
think
for real. It could be. Here,
that
pull my finger. Like
that
toilet
could
humor.
be. That's not a bad. I would like to try that dating wise. Like sometimes I want to go get a job just so I can get fired and tell somebody how I really feel. Wouldn't it be fun to do the same thing if you were dating, if you weren't into him at all? Be like, can you pull over? I'm about to crap my pants, and just that way, so they're turned off, and they never. Yeah, that's a thought.
You've never blown out a date, like that's never happened to you. You've never been sitting with someone and thought, you know what, I'm ending this thing before it gets going too much farther. I've done that. I've definitely been just,
No,
crowning, Amanda, crowning.
Ew.
5 centimeters and dilated. I think we should leave that for something else.
That's gross.
Oh, look at this. Most recent embarrassment. Today, I fell on my butt in the PetSmart parking lot with my 2 dogs in tow. Someone asked me if I needed help. I have gray hair. I told them no. Might just take a minute. I love the I have gray hair reference. Like, that's just going to make it all make sense to us. He just offered because of the gray hair, not because he was a nice guy. Gray hair.
That's falling is quite the embarrassing thing for me. I just can't. And it's even worse like if it's icy. Don't you guys think it's worse when you're like about to fall and you try not to fall and you start like ooh, and you're like making sounds with it? There's nothing worse. Like there's just I haven't fallen in a long time. Let's hope I don't. That's awful.
Yeah, no, we have not found the edge of the poop cliff, but we're working on it. Your son said that I was trying to explain. Oh, okay. My son said it. The dirt ass. Leave it to Calhoun. I apologize. You can't take the kid anywhere. You know what I mean? I blame me.
I love him.
Seriously. No, my kid's the best. My kid is the best. That's why I moved away from the cold. I did that too. However, here it does not feel like it's warm, but the winter is going to be over soon.
Yeah.
Kate says you're honest. You're so honest. It's authentic.
Thank you, Kate.
Yes, Haystacks is not Calhoun. It's a different Calhoun. So, yeah, Amanda, you're good. Amanda's one of my favorite people. No, you're good. Turtlehead, lovely. Turtlehead.
I don't have words for it. I just say I have to go poo-poo turd, but that's what I call it for my dog too.
Poo-poo turd.
Little poo-poo turds.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't have these manly terms for it. If I have to poop, I have to poop.
Yeah, I don't know that I even have an expression. I think I just kind of go do my thing. Right.
It's weird. I've never had a problem talking about it. Like I was on a live with Chow Yun Smut the other night, and I was like, "Let's wrap this up. I have to poop." Look, Tommy has to poop now. He didn't even say. He just left.
No, I have a cat. And I got to take care of Kit. She was at the door knocking to get in.
I don't have a problem talking about pooping. I don't have a problem saying when I have to go poop. I've told you guys on a live before when I have to poop. It's just the actual action of it. I can't do it with people around.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I do. I get it. I don't have that problem. Dropping a deuce, says Joe Virus. Yeah, I don't think I really have a problem with that.
I get it.
Yeah. Squirrel Nut is here. She is deploying the USS Brownfish.
Ew.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That's a lot of effort. Right. Number 2. Maureen's just gonna deuce. Deploying the USS Brownfish.
Kind of grody. That's a little grody.
Look at this. It was my son, and yes, he's in timeout. I promise. I have shuffled him off to Buffalo. Dropping the kids off at the pool. Yes, I've heard that one. Stock the lake with brown trout. Not heard that one.
God, that's too much. Just go do it. We don't have to label it that. That's grody.
Oh, Calhoun's trying to back away from it. Wow, that's how did this happen? I blame you. I don't.
100% blame me, and this is why maybe I shouldn't be here, guys.
Don't start doing that again. Don't start doing that again.
I'm not for everybody.
Go make a deposit. I like that one. Inside they would say, I got to go feed the warden. That was always a big one inside. They would say, I'm going to feed the warden. I never found it particularly funny, so I didn't get involved. To be honest with you, I tried to avoid a lot of the. I was reading. See a man about a horse. That's an old one. You guys have been using that one for years.
I had a boyfriend that said that all the time.
Yeah. Roughing up the suspect. Oh boy, there's an unusual. This is liberating. Don't leave, Reese. See that? I don't think they think it is liberating.
Well, I think
am taking
can't stand me left, which is good.
You know what? Here's the deal. And go ahead and order a drink by that name. Here's the deal. Because of what we do with the channel that we do here, things I say every day run off people who are going to be back the next day. If I come here and I start talking about freebase coke and you're a crack user, it's a very difficult show to get through. So very often you'll leave, come back the next time. Sometimes, if I'm talking about booze and this is something that you struggle with, people walk away and come back. Or if it just happens to be whatever, if it triggers you, go away, right? We'll be here. I do a ton of content. It's not like you got to catch this show because I'm not going to do another one for a month, right?
That's absolutely.
If you're not digging what's on, just don't do the mean people thing. I don't need to know why the hell you're leaving. Leave.
And Renee, you both have helped me together and individually with dealing with past trauma and issues. Thank you. I love comments like that, Renee. Thank you. Tony, I also like that you call it baking a keister casserole. That's a new one and I like it.
That is absolutely new. I've never heard that one. Yeah. I actually renamed my toilet the Cardone. I like it. Instead of the commode, you go and use the Cardone. You could drop off a Tom Cruise. I don't know, knock yourself out, right? What's that?
As in Grant Cardone.
As in Grant Cardone.
Rhoda, thank you. And Lisa Marie, if you can't talk poop with your friends, who can you talk to? That's so true.
I'd like to have $1 for every time I've said that.
Yeah, I tend to bring it out of Tommy, though. I don't think he normally brings up these subjects, and I am happy to be the one to do it.
30 days, Rolling Stone. How good is that? The 1 month mark. You know what this means, don't you? It is time for the official participation trophy of a lifeboat. We have a official participation trophy. Congratulations, Rolling Stone. I remember saying we're going to have to get back together and do this in a couple of days. Didn't we? We were talking about this the other day. Congratulations. Now you no longer count in weeks, right? You got to knock 12 of those out. We can start counting again. Go to the big ones. Good for you. Yeah, 30 days. And I have promise you, right? This is as hard a 30 days as you're ever going to go through. I promise you it gets easier. It really does. The first 30 are tough. They really are. Nice. Yeah. I think you should have a tiara. Although I know someone that wears one. Tiaras are great. I just don't think you should necessarily wear them out. Unless you happen to be, going to a Miss America pageant. Comes up from time to time. Congrats, Rolling Stone. I couldn't be happier. What's that?
I might wear one on the cruise.
Aren't you going to rock a tiara?
I might. Somebody sent me a really cool one.
Really?
No.
No one sends me tiaras. I got a cowbell, though. Anybody send you a cowbell?
No, but people send me some pretty cool stuff.
I would believe that. You were.
They do.
You're nothing if not popular. I'm going to bring the official participation trophy on the cruise. I promise. I'll be bringing all kinds of cool stuff from the boat on the cruise. See if we can't sneak on a cat. This is a support animal. Like, I'm not even being like, this is an emotional support animal. I should be able to take her on there. She's in loaf mode. Want to say?
Oh my God,
she's so loafing.
That is so cute. She is so cute. I love Squirrel.
I have a video that I took, and I just have not uploaded it yet. But it is a video of cat jumping from this cat jumping from the couch to a very, very high bookshelf. And she literally had to like put her feet out in front of her. When I put it up, it's in super, super slow mode. You are not going to believe how a cat, I mean, what they do in order to make this thing. I said to my brother, we got to film that. I don't know how she gets up there. And he managed to do it. I had nothing to do with it. He brought it to me. I was like, look at this. Yeah, she's an athlete. She really is. She's still young, you know. She's still a little girl.
Cindy, we've established that 3 times, Cindy. We've established that. Thanks for your time. No, that's adorable.
What size hat do I wear? I don't know the answer to that. You know what? I probably would have said like 10/6 because it's always what's on every hat that I've ever owned. But that's just it's a reference to Alice in Wonderland. So it is the best cat in the basket in all of in all of YouTube. There is no more. There's not a better cat in the basket or more cat in the basket than you will find here. Yeah, we have a short of her flying on the bed, which is pretty incredible. I forgot about that short, but that's a good one. You wore a tiara for her 50th birthday. See, guys don't get anything cool like that. What do we get?
Hold on. Would you really take her on the cruise? See, I wouldn't do that with my dog because I don't want to leave her in a room. It would freak her out.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't bother her, Squirrel. She'd just chill. And I absolutely would take her. She would be way more bummed out to be away from me for 9 days than she would. My cat is remarkable. Like she's never even bummed out about being in the car, right? None of that. She's just, oh, has Reese not seen my hat? You're kidding.
Somebody sent me a picture of you in it.
Oh, yeah. I made this. This was me. Yeah, that's crazy. I made this.
I especially like it with your Hawaiian shirt, but that's really cool.
It's not a great match color-wise. You know what I mean?
Well, it's also 2 different seasons, but yeah, no, definitely. I think that's adorable. I can't believe you made it. It's super cool.
I did. Yeah. It's called a toque.
Yeah, it's super cool.
You see the EB on the side of it?
Yeah.
Look, I have one right there. Wouldn't have been there, right? It matches perfect.
What does this mean?
It's just a thing. It has no meaning. That it would not mean anything to anybody, I promise. It's a group of individuals that are long since dead, but it was something that meant something to a lot of them.
Oh,
they're all gone. I'm the only one left, sadly.
Like in Yellowstone when everybody gets branded?
Never saw it.
Mm-hmm.
I've never. You like the pom-poms?
Yeah.
I am a pom-pom fan.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's really cute.
Yeah, I would really like to bring. I would absolutely love to bring Squirrel Nut Zipper. She would love it too.
Be careful. Just be careful because once you get there, if something goes wrong, you may not be able to go. Like, what if they're like, "Yeah, no, sorry, this isn't going to work."
Yeah. Then I would leave with my cat.
Right.
It would definitely be something that I would have to do a lot of with no hair. No, I don't do hairless cats. I like looking at them. I wouldn't want to own one. They kind of freak me out a little bit.
Well, it's kind of what I look like naked. So,
question: why, if fentanyl is so deadly, do the dealers still cut it? Cut with it, sorry. Isn't this like killing their clientele? Not trying to be glib at all. I just don't understand. Here's what's even crazier, right? So every single time a large batch, and I mean large batches are 500,000 pills, right? Anything over 500,000 pills. They're going to go and test, and they're going to take like every 15, right? They're going to do a series so that they get an idea of just how much fentanyl is being pressed into these pills, right? Every time they bust a new batch, it's stronger than the previous batch. And once the government in our country said, you don't need a prescription for Narcan anymore, which is the antidote, right? Then the next batch that came through, they're calling Trank, and they mixed it with a drug called xylazine, which is it's a horse tranquilizer. But for all intents and purposes, it's like a very, very strong benzo, same family as Xanax or Valium or whatever. But when you mix that with the fent, the antidote doesn't work anymore. And this is why we're up to 350 people a day. This is the #1 cause of death in America. The stuff that's coming across the border is coming across the border to kill. There's 2 milligrams of fentanyl will kill you. The 60% of the pills that they're busting have more than 2 milligrams. Now, junkies, I'm sorry if you're a user, but needle junkies, the guys that do that, they're going to buy that pill and they're going to crush it up, right? They're not swallowing that. Sadly, youngsters and people that don't know any better who have done a Percocet will find that, think it's a Percocet. They'll eat it. I mean, it's stamped exactly like a Percocet. It is intentional. There's no way it's not. I've been tracking the quality of this crap for 3 years, right? And it's never, ever dipped. And the last batch that they busted, it's not even fentanyl anymore, right? We've moved from fentanyl to the nitazene families, NITs they call it, phytonitazene, isonitazines. These are 50 times stronger than fent, which is 100 times stronger than heroin, right? We really need those. Yeah, and they're cutting everything with it. The reason that they're cutting everything with it is because, yeah, you know what? This will kill you just as fast that way too. It'll kill you just as fast that way. That is a very dangerous way to do that. Xylazine cannot be countered by Narcan because it is not an opiate, right? So Narcan just kicks stuff off of the receptors. And as far as Bufen it goes, Bufen was the rage. It was, but that will kill you really quickly that way. There's way too many mucous membranes. It's like snorting only on steroids, right? So it will kill you. It's not a safer method.
Yeah. Anne Hummingbird, I just want to say I'm really sorry. I love her. I didn't know that. I'm sorry to hear that.
Anne's great. Really great.
She lost 2 family members last week.
Yeah. Yeah. She had mentioned that on the boat. It's and it's every day. It's every single day. I am promising you, I cannot remember the last day that somebody didn't send me an email to tell me that somebody died. Boofing is when you take what looks like a regular syringe, but the needle has been removed off of it, and you insert it into your backside and you fire it up into your rectum. Right? It's called boofing, and it is done because there are more mucous membranes there. It's you're not going to get the drip and all of the stuff that people, right? You get busted really easily when you snort. It's not safer. I think when there was a misconception when people started dying from these opioids, people thought, well, if I boof it, right, I'm not gonna overdose. They saw it as a safer way to do it, and it's not at all a safer way to do it. We've talked about it a lot here to try to tell people that I promise you it's not how you want to do it, right? It's just a really bad way to get anything into your body. It sits, right? Like up here, you're snorting it down into your stomach. Your stomach acid is going to work through that. There's all kinds of stuff that takes the sting off of it. When you put it the other way, you're putting it into somewhere where it's just going to sit and get completely, it's going to go, you're going to get all of it into your system, and it's probably going to kill you. So injection is usually with heroin, you can't smoke heroin and die from it. That's been the rule forever because it's an opiate. You can't get enough of it in there to kill you. But with the opioids, the synthetic stuff like fentanyl, it can kill you smoking it. And this was one of the things that knocked out a lot of users in the beginning, because as I said, a junkie would crush up the pill to see how strong the pill is. He's going to throw it on tinfoil and smoke it. He's going to get an idea of how strong the batch is before he puts it in the vein. The first hit can kill you, right? Sucking it off of tinfoil can kill you, and fast.
It's horrible.
Yeah, Jennifer, it's all about communicating with your kid. This, honest to God in heaven, you're going to talk to your kid about drugs, or you're in deep, deep trouble. For real. There's never been a time on this planet. I do some shorts and they're ugly and they're a bummer, but if you don't talk to your kids about drugs, there's an excellent chance you're going to bury them. It's the #1 cause of death. You wouldn't put your kid behind the wheel of a car without sending them for a driver's education, right? But you kick them out onto the street and, tell them about fentanyl and everything else that's out there. You gotta let them know that if that prescription does not come from a pharmacy, right, with your name on it, then you can't do it. I mean, there is no such thing anymore at all as safe drugs on the street. Those days are over. I'm sorry, Reese, we got a little far afield, but
that's okay. Alexa, turn on downstairs.
Is that music? You have an
No,
Alexa?
turn on the lights.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm going to yell that louder, so I'll mute.
Go ahead. Knock yourself out.
There we go. Okay.
I'm going to probably going to wrap this up. We did 2.5 hours. I think that's probably the longest show that we've done together, to be sure.
Possibly. This is a regular night for me, but this is long for you.
Well, I did a 20-hour one with my brother. And I did early on in the days of the boat, we used to do some really, really long stuff. But we her Alexa just answered you.
No,
Oh,
that's
that's so funny.
Sorry. No, this was fun. I'm glad that we answered some questions. I'm glad that we sorted some things out. That's progress, and that's how life works. And for those of you that I upset, I do apologize. And lucky for you, I'm rarely here. So tomorrow we'll be back to your regularly scheduled programming.
Well, not necessarily, but let's hope so.
Super chatted me.
I'm sorry?
Somebody sent me a super chat from my live tonight. Thank you, Penny. Trixie.
Look at
All
that.
right.
That's good. Look at that.
Oh,
see,
that's so
another Alexa that answered you. There are Alexas all over the planet answering you.
Who said that? If that's not you, who says that?
Who says that? My son.
Oh, I love Spanx.
My son typed that.
Spanx, I love you. I loved you the second I met you. I mean it. You were it for me. You clicked for me. I really liked you. Thank you for saying that.
To all of you, because as Reese said earlier, you know what, honesty is always the best policy. I'm just going to tell you that, especially in the afternoon stuff, I'm going to be sending her a link. She can pop on whenever she wants. So if she doesn't, well, yeah.
And guys,
I'm going to send her a link.
Even though this made some people uncomfortable, I realize that and I apologize, but sometimes you got to get through the uncomfortable to get to the other side. And that's what my channel's about, healing and kind of going where some people don't want to go. So thank you for those of you that were here. And to those of you that unsubscribed to me this evening, I wish you the best of luck. 2024 is going to be a good year for all of us. So thank you.
I think that's awesome.
Tommy, you still with us? Oh, okay, there he is.
I am still with you. I have been wanting to start a channel for a while, but I've struggled with knowing that my interests are so varied. I wouldn't have one consistent content. Reese has inspired me. I would imagine that you could pick either of our shows. I mean, even with the drug stuff, I promise you, there's no telling what we're going to be talking about. Drugs always wind their way through, but holy hell, I mean, we really can talk about
on my channel, I talk about everything. I never have a topic. I never watched Seinfeld, but everybody says I'm the Seinfeld of YouTube because we just talk about it.
You would have loved it. You would have loved that show. I promise you, you would love that show.
Well, I love the creator of Seinfeld. I love his show, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Larry David. So
yeah, Larry David.
Yeah. So Tommy, thank you for having me. Spanx, I love you. This was nice. And Christy Caldwell, thank you for saying that, babe.
You should all check because they're unsubscribing the crap out of everybody. This is an epidemic right now. It really is. I mean, I'm here. I heard about it from the day we started the channel, but now we really get it a lot. So do check.
I love that when for everybody. World, you can't heal what you don't feel. Babe, I am all about it. I'm all about it. That's so true. But sometimes it's too much for people and you got to respect that too. You know, that's okay too. But I love going there. I love going deep. I love talking about it. I love going deep in more ways than one. We'll sign off with that.
All right. Just the nurse. It was great to see you all working through your issues. It's nice to see you tackle the hard stuff. Learned a lot just watching you two. Well, we're glad that you're here. And I mean that. All right, Reese. I'm sticking around for about 3 minutes, people. We're just going to knock out the rest of the fentanyl questions. Do it real quick. All right. Okay, so we're going to go through that. What's that?
When you said, all right, Reese, is that your way of saying goodbye, Reese? Do you want me to leave?
No, you can absolutely stick around if you want. I'm just going to be answering some questions on the fent.
What do you want me to do? What should I do with my hands? I feel awkward. What am I supposed to do? You want me to go?
Well, all I was going to say, all I was saying was I'm getting off in 6 minutes. If you want to stay with us. If you don't, I'm just going to be answering. I don't want to feel like if I missed anything. So if you had a fent question, do it now. Dawn, thank you so much. Stick around, Reese says Shell. You don't want to mess with her.
No, she did. I saw it, so I decided to stay.
Hey, I haven't seen Tampa Beach. She doing all right?
She's at the protest tonight with Aaron. She's at the protest. Good. She's with Aaron. She's okay. She texted me earlier.
Good. Give her my best. So let's see. You know what? We might be done. Maybe I answered all of them. That would be great. It's ugly. The fentanyl thing is a issue. I am doing everything within my power right now to try to get to Congress, if you can believe it, to try to testify about this, because they don't seem to. Yeah, I would like to testify. They can they put fentanyl in cannabis? Okay, here's the deal on fentanyl and cannabis. When you pay somebody to smuggle dope across the border, you pay them a lot more to smuggle fentanyl or heroin or cocaine than you do weed, right? So if you're trying to get a bunch of dope across the border and you don't want to pay a lot of money for it, you take fentanyl and you put the stuff inside weed and you brick it, right? Stuff comes in a brick. It looks like an encyclopedia. You've probably seen brickweed. It's just pressed together, right? Inside that brick is a bunch of fentanyl. Sometimes when they break this stuff open, some of the fentanyl will make contact. And if you buy weed that has anything on it, 7 people died last year that we could verify from cannabis in the U.S. that had been laced intentionally or unintentionally. There's no way to tell. But when they bring it across the border that way, I knew guys that went to prison for smuggling stuff across the border that they thought was weed, only to find out that there was a bunch of other stuff, because you do way more time. How would someone know if they ended up with fentanyl by accident when they thought that they had something else? Okay, so depending where you are in the country, you can get fentanyl test strips. If you are somebody who is addicted to opiates, you're not going to be able to stop instantly, right? So very often you're still using. This is where the harm reduction thing comes in, right? If you're still using, I'm not here to bust your chops about it, but you've got to make sure that what you're using isn't going to kill you. 2 milligrams of fentanyl and you're dead. So knowing 60% of the pills that they bust have more than 2 milligrams of fentanyl, you obviously cannot ingest this entire thing. There is also a real problem with with what we call in drug speak suspension, which is how let's say you got a gram of dope and you're going to take that gram and mix it into 10 grams, right? Cutting it. Okay. Normally, if you do that with other drugs, you can mix it up very easily and everything is good. How much of the drug gets suspended throughout the entire thing? With fentanyl, it doesn't like to mix. So what ends up happening is you get a bag this big. There are going to be hot spots in there. They're pure fentanyl. And you're going to have parts that do absolutely nothing. Doesn't really matter if you press it together in a pill. But you break this stuff back open, and the two of us, you take some stuff, put it on your tin foil. I take some stuff, take a hit. It doesn't do a damn thing. You take a hit, it stops your heart, because all of that dope is going to be in one spot. And this is really, really a problem. Do not confuse the patches that they're giving your sister for cancer. No, it's an excellent painkiller. Fentanyl is the best painkiller in the world. It's why people are copying it. The stuff that's on the street is an analog. It's not the real deal anyway. The stuff that your sister would be getting in a patch is alpha fentanyl. It's a fantastic drug. It really is. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. People like us or like me can't take it, right? Because it's addicting as hell and it's an opioid. But it is an excellent painkiller. And if she has cancer, this is what this crap was designed for. I mean, straight up, that's what it was built for. So no, don't. And anybody, right? If you have to be on pain meds, that doesn't make you evil, right? There's nothing wrong with drugs. It's drug addiction that sucks. So if you're taking pain meds to treat pain, please don't beat yourself up for it. It's supposed to happen, right? That's honestly, there's a reason that we have this stuff in us. Head shops. Well, the stuff that they're selling in head shops right now are terrifying. You can get the test strips at head shops. You can also get them at pharmacies. And any place, almost every city in America has a needle exchange program, right? Whether or not you use needle drugs, needle exchange programs give out tons of things to drug users for harm reduction. One of the things that they will give out is test strips. One of the other things that they will give out is Narcan, and they're the only people that will give you 10 of them, right? Knowing, you go to a pharmacy, they give you 2. 2's not saving anybody from anything, not anymore. Right, the stuff it takes about 6 doses to bring people back, and that's from small amounts. So it's just an ugly time. But yeah, you're probably going to do better at needle exchange programs, and you're not going to have to pay for them, right? You really won't. So that's a little better than trying to get them at head shops or whatever. Yeah, it's just so I think that about does it. Yeah, am I missing anybody? Head shops products are terrifying. Okay, the stuff that they're selling right now in head shops, that they're calling gas station heroin or whatever. Zaza Red is the name of one of the products. They sell them under a bunch of names. The big one right now is Zaza Red, and it's a drug called it's a drug that was popular in France. It was an antidepressant, and they started selling it without prescriptions. Anyway, you can get it here in the United States. It's garbage. Kratom is another one. Kratom is at least in theory grown in nature, right? So it's not a synthetic. Zaza Red and the other stuff, those are all synthetics. But if you're buying something to get high with thank you. That's the name of it right there. Thank you. Could not come up with that to save my ass. It was legal in France by prescription. They made it so anybody could get it. And they had junkies, like people just got strung out like this. That stuff attaches to the MU receptor, right? The MU2 receptor is the same thing that heroin, fentanyl, all of them. Goes in there, puts the key in, turns it. That's what gets you high. You release the chemicals yourself, right? Zaza Red is terrible. Kratom is terrible. There's no freaking quality control to any of that. They can put anything they want in it because they're selling it. They're not selling it as a drug. They're selling it as a dietary supplement and crap like that. And they fly under the radar. No one looks at anything in there. You have no idea what you're getting. It's terrifying. Yeah, no, if you can get the test strips at a clinic, get them. I mean, get them. But you absolutely can call up any needle exchange program and they will hand them out to you. Right? So, all right, everybody. Comment, took a break from YouTube. So glad the first live back was YouTube. Thanks. I'll be watching the replay. Okay, excellent. All right. I'm going with you.
I'm going to go. Oh, you're going to? Okay. I was trying to find a break in a moment so I could say, actually, I should have left. Thank you so much, guys.
Let
me do this so we end on a good note. To all of you.
I sure wish I could do all of those cool things. None of those things. Like I do stuff and none.
You can still blow kisses. Oh, that's adorable.
Nada.
Oh, that was
Didn't do a damn thing.
I wonder if that's the first time you've done that. I'm glad that you did that. That was adorable. Love you, Chaotic.
On the air, it very well could be.
Yeah, I hope it was. First time I got you to wear a fur coat was with me too, so it makes me feel special.
All right, a good looking fur coat too. Good night, everybody, and we will see you on the next one. I'm the captain. We'll see you. Bye-bye.